Historic rivalries and legends of the game ready to
वो बैठ गया अभी दिख गए सारे बैठ गए चालू नहीं वाले प्रॉपर सही टाइम पे अपन 2 मिनट में मैच चालू है 2 मिनट में मैच चालू है यार 4:30 बजे शार्प कोई भी डिले नहीं है कुछ भी नहीं है
the status, the glory, and the legacy. And so it is time to kick off day 2 of the PMWC Finals at the EWC 2026.
Let's go. चालू करो मैच चॉकलेट चालू करो जी बड़ा कैम रखता हूं अभी देखो प्लेयर्स बैठे हुए सारे के सारे प्लेयर्स बैठे हुए चश्मा पहना तब दिखा मेरे को आज फीलिंग आ रही है आज कुछ खतरनाक होने वाला है मेरे को आज फीलिंग आ रही पब्लिक कुछ खतरनाक होने वाला है आज मतलब जिंक्स नहीं करना चाहता हूं पॉजिटिव वाली फीलिंग बोल रहा हूं मैं याद रहेंगे ऐसा वाला फीलिंग आ रही भयंकर वाली आप बात यार लड़के यार बस एकदम हेल्दी और एकदम टकाटक अच्छे से करे मजा आ जाए लियो चालू करो मां चॉकलेट चलो पब्लिक जिस भी गॉड में आप प्रे करते हो बिलीव करते हो आंदो एकदम पॉजिटिव गणपति बप्पा मोरिया बप्पा आज हो जाए स्पेशल डे बप्पा आज डे कॉल्ड ऑफ अरे पागल का मैच चल रहा है पीछे क्या डे कॉल्ड ऑफ आज पूरा होगा भाई 8 के 8 मैचेस होंगे पब्लिक 8 के 8 मैचेस होंगे बाय द वे वी आर वेरी क्लोज टू 2.6 मिलियन हो जाए आज 12,000 सब्सक्राइबर चाहिए कर दो 2.6 मिलियन सब्सक्राइब काउंट नहीं रुकना चाहिए भाई सब्सक्राइबर काउंट बढ़ते रहना चाहिए अभी भी देख रहा हूं चैट में एल जर्सी स्पैम मार रहे देखो फिर से बता रहा हूं कॉन्टेक्स्ट आप लोगों को आप लोग जितना मेरे को प्यार करते हो बट कुछ पर्टिकुलर लोग हैं जो नहीं पसंद कर रहे मैं जिधर हूं मैं जो भी अपने को सपोर्ट मिल रहा वो लोग क्या किए कल मैं इंडिया की जर्सी पहना मैं किस इमोशन से पहना था मैं आप सब जानते हो उस पर टीम इंडिया लिखा होता है इसके लिए मैं वो इमोशन के लिए वो जर्सी पहना बिकॉज मैं अगर ओजी पहनूंगा तो गॉडलेक के लिए अच्छा नहीं है वो गॉडलेक की जर्सी पहनूंगा तो ओजी के लिए अच्छा नहीं है तो टीम इंडिया को सपोर्ट करने के लिए मैंने क्रिकेट की जर्सी पहनी अब उस जर्सी पे स्पॉन्सर होते हैं ड्रीम 11 का स्पॉन्सर था उसमें जो कि इंडिया में अभी बैंड है उस चीज को रिपोर्ट कर रहे लोग ईडब्ल्यूसी को कि ये जानबूझ के प्रमोट कर रहा है जानबूझ के तो इस टाइप के भी लोग है भाई अपनी कम्युनिटी में तो उनको इग्नोर करने के लिए अपन क्या करें सिंपल अपन आगे एसएटल की जर्सी में क्योंकि जो अपन स्टेज पे अभी है मैं नहीं चाहता हूं मैं किसी के साथ भी कुछ लफड़े करूं मेरे को कंट्रोवर्सीज नहीं चाहिए मैं एकदम सिंपल सीधा साधा नॉर्मल इंसान हूं जो अपने में फोकस करता अपनी काम पे फोकस करता इसी बात पे गणपति बप्पा मोरिया चालू हो रहा मैच लेट्स गो चलो लेट्स गो बॉयज लेट्स गो का ऑडियो अभी आ रहा नहीं तो मैं मोस्टली शायद वर्ल्ड फीड वाला ही ऑडियो ऑन करूं कास्टर्स का ऑडियो अभी तक आया नहीं गाइस थोड़े 1-2 गेम बाद कास्टर्स का ऑडियो आ जाएगा तो उसको एडजस्ट करना अभी के लिए शायद विदाउट कास्टर्स अपन देखे बट 1-2 गेम बाद या इसी गेम के बीच में कास्टर्स की आवाज आ जाएगी वो उनके यहां से फीड आने में मेरे को 1 गेम लगता है ठीक है थोड़ा एंजॉय करो अभी बड़ा दिन है बड़ा माहौल है बड़ा मंच है और आज इंपॉर्टेंट डे अपने लिए लेट्स गो बॉयज वी गॉट दिस गन फाइट है नहीं वो एक बार देखना है मेरे को क्योंकि अपना कैसा मिरामार में क्लैश वाला सीन था देखो आरू जा रहा ला बेंडिटा की तरफ आतंकी कहां अलग उतर रहा भाई इम्पाला जा रहेगा अपन इम्पाला नहीं आ तो ओवर तो जा रहेगा ओजी वाले जाना कहां जा रहे गाड़ी लेके 3 बंदे उधर आरू नीचे आरू शायद सिर्फ गाड़ी लेने के लिए लॉस की तरफ आया गाड़ी लेके वापस चले जाएगा अपनी टीम के पास गॉडल कहां जा रही गॉडल कहाँ जा रही है? मेरे को दिख क्यों नहीं रही गॉडल? ब्रो गॉडल क्यों नहीं दिख रही मेरे को? एकदम इसके साथ है क्या? होरा के पास में है क्या? उल्फ के साथ है क्या गॉडल? या तो मैं अंधा हो गया। इधर नहीं है, इधर नहीं है। सैन मार्टिन नहीं उतरे क्या अपन? गॉडल किधर है? मेरे को अभी तक दिख ही नहीं रहे। बताओ आप लोगों के लिए गॉडल कहाँ है रे? अंधा हो गया क्या रे भाई? अरे पूरा पर ये के साथ है क्या सैन मार्टिन में? पता नहीं, मैं अंधा हो गया भाई। मेरे को नहीं दिखा अभी तक नहीं दिखा मेरे को। आई डोंट नो व्हाई। अभी तक नहीं दिखा रहे मेरे को। अब देखते कास्टर्स की आवाज आई क्या? नहीं, कास्टर्स की आवाज अभी नहीं आई गाइस। जैसे आएगी मैं बता दूंगा। अभी तक अपने को कास्टर्स की आवाज नहीं है, तो विदाउट कास्टर की आवाज अपन देखते। कोई सीन नहीं है, ऑल गुड है। आ जाएगी थोड़ी देर में कास्टर की आवाज, ठीक है? फिर से एक बार मैं आपकी स्ट्रीम लगाता हूं, देखते। अरे मैं अंधा हूं क्या?
Why pay commission when you don't have to? On Upstocks, invest in mutual funds and IPOs absolutely free.
ये शायद फाइट हुई क्या अपनी? नहीं, ये तो अलग चेज डाउन हो रहा। मैं अंधा हो गया, अंधा हो गया। अरे होरा वाले तो पकड़ रहे हैं। होरा वर्सेस उला, क्विक। कैन यू डू सम क्विक 1v3 1v4 1v2 है वैसे तो। आगे बाकी दो बंदे भी आगे। ब्रो पड़ जाता तो इनसे नहीं आता। अरे सीढ़ियों पे चला गया सीधा। बस ज्यादा नीचे भी नहीं रुक सकता था उन्हें। मेरे को अभी तक नहीं दिख रहे अपने लड़के कहां पे यार। कंफ्यूज हूं मैं। अरे आ गया, बैकअप आ गया रे। लोग 3 मैन आ गए, बट होरा के बंदे भी इधर ही है। होरा भी इधर ही है ब्रो। ये तो डेंजर फाइट हो गई। ये तो डेंजर फाइट हो गई रे भाई। ये तो डेंजर फाइट हो गई भाई। एक बंदे का ऑफ एंगल है वैसे होरा का, वो बहुत दूर है। क्रॉसिंग में तो बहुत गंदा मारेंगे अगर सही टाइम पे आ गया उन्हें। देख रहे पहाड़ पे जो बंदा है, उला वाले अगर क्रॉस किए ओपन में सिमेंट्री की तरफ, तो इन्हें पकड़ के मारेंगा। कास्टर्स वाली फीड गाइस, कास्टर्स वाला जो ऑडियो है ना वो आ जाएगा थोड़ी देर बाद। मैं फिर ऑन कर दूंगा, ठीक है? अभी के लिए गाड़ी एंजॉय करो। दे दिया देखो, नो फियर क्रॉसिंग में। बट स्लिपी भी नॉक हो गया। नो फियर ने अपना काम कर दिया भाई। हो गया लास्ट बचा उला का, खत्म है। 4 किल मिल गए होरा को। डब्लू गुड स्टार्ट टू देम। गुड स्टार्ट रे, गुड स्टार्ट। डब्लू 4 किल लेके गए। वो नो फियर का एंगल मस्त सारे, ऑफ एंगल मस्त पेशेंटली खेला वहां पे। लाइक एंड सब बॉयज, जितने भी लोग देखते हैं मेक श्योर लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब। एक बार मैप की स्ट्रीम लगा के देखते अपनी टीम किधर है। बाकी ईडा वर्सेस 40 आपस में क्लैश ले रही। ओजी रोटेशन मार रही ला बेंडिटा के साइड से नीचे से ऊपर। गॉडल एकदम पहुंच गया यारो वाटर पर सेंटर ऑफ द जोन। ऑलमोस्ट सेंटर वहीं बनने वाला है जहाँ पे ये और गॉडल है, वहीं पे सेंटर बनने वाला है मोस्टली। हार्ड शिफ्ट होगा तो अलग बात। अब जाके गॉडल दिखी मेरे को मैप पे। कहाँ उतरे थे मेरे को अभी तक अंधा हो गया था भाई मैं। मेरे को दिखी नहीं कहाँ पे उतरी। लेट्स गो। लाइक एंड सब बॉयज, लेट्स गो। गणपति अप्पा मोरिया। चाहिए इंपॉर्टेंट गेम अपने लिए, लेट्स गो। ईडा एनजीएक्स पास में। अब ये जोन के बाद जो शिफ्ट देखना है ना आपने को, वो सबसे ज्यादा क्रूशियल है। ओजी सदन साइड से आ रही है, गॉडल ऑलरेडी टॉप साइड पे ऊपर बैठी हुई है। अब किस साइड फेवर देता जोन देखेंगे। सेंट्रलाइज बना तो दोनों के लिए अच्छा है। अगर हार्ड शिफ्ट हुआ तो ऊपर नीचे का ही हार्ड शिफ्ट हो, लेफ्ट राइट का हार्ड शिफ्ट ना हो, ताकि अपनी एक आधी टीम को तो फेवर मिले। बस आज एक ही चीज का ध्यान रखना है अपने लड़कों को, जोन मिल रहा ना कैपिटलाइज करना है, उसको कन्वर्ट करना है गेम को। जोन नहीं मिल रहा तो अप्रोच वही रखना है जैसा गन फाइट पे पूरी गन पावर पे निकालते ना, वैसे अपने को रखना है। Damn bro, यूरिया वर्सेस GX। अभी के लिए आपको हल्का सा एकदम थोड़ा सा डिले रहेगा जो गन चल रही है और उसके ऑडियो में, हो जाएगा फिक्स थोड़ी देर में। ये मैच के बाद मैं टेक टीम को बुला के करवा दूंगा। अभी के लिए एंजॉय करो गेम, ठीक है। क्या लग रहा, क्या बोल रहा है? ले मैं वेज खाया प्रॉपर, ऐसा हुआ? अच्छा, सूर्या वर्सेस सॉरी एनजेक सूर्या तो चल ही रहा। अरे मार के 1v2 मार देंगे आगे ने ब्रो। अगर इन्हें इसको मार दिया तो गया इन्हें, डब्बा है, नॉक फिनिश है आइला का। क्या जिगल दिया रे, क्या जिगल दिया बाप, क्या जिगल दिया बाप। भाई कूप्स भाई तो दे दिए, कस कर 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 पर कूप्स भाई। अगर इन्हें इसको भी मार दिया हीगो को तो 40 वर्सेस एफ उधर दबा के नेड वेट की फुल खतरनाक फाइट। रिवाइव देने आया, नेड है इस पे, एक ही नेड है, बहुत डिफिकल्ट है यहाँ से कनेक्ट करना। जोन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है गाइस, आई विल शो यू गाइस द जोन। एक मिनट रुको ब्रो, भाई साहब 1v4 कर देगा हीगो को मार दिया तो ब्रो। एक ही नेड था उसने, वो भी 3 पॉइंटर डाला उन्हें। Oh, that's actually insane. भाई साहब क्या मारा है ब्रो। ओ भाई साहब, रऊफ भाई इसकी चुम्मी लेंगे अब। क्या मारा भाई। अभी मैप देखते रुको, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट मैप देखना है। क्या बात है, गॉडल सेंटर ऑफ द जोन, ओजी सदर्न साइड से एंटर कर रही, सैन मार्टिन की सिटी की साइड से, हसियंदा का जो अपना वो रहता ना। बाकी गॉडलाइक के पास भी अच्छी जगह है एंड इट्स गोना बी एन इंटरेस्टिंग गेम बॉयज। वाइटलिटी पूरा ऊपर से एक रिज, वाटर ट्रीटमेंट का पूरा रिज लेके बैठी है। वाइटलिटी पे बहुत खतरनाक जगह है भाई, बहुत खतरनाक जगह है। दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट गेम फॉर आवर बॉयज, बॉयज बॉयज, कम ऑन बॉयज। इंपॉर्टेंट गेम है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट गेम है, क्रूशियल गेम भाई। क्या 1v4 किया, माँ खत्म भाई। पहली बात तो 1v1 जो लिया है जिगल देके ऊपर, जो हिल पे चढ़ा था बंदा, उसको तो जो मारा, इनसेन मारा भाई। क्रूशियल 1v1 लिया, उसके बाद नेड, एक ही नेड इतना परफेक्ट कैसा डाल सकता भाई। जो परफेक्ट टाइमिंग पे नीचे गया, परफेक्ट टाइमिंग पे फुटा, क्या 1v4 किया भाई, मजा आ गया। अरे पास में जा रहे हैं लोग, ईडा वर्सेस गॉडल हो सकता है भाई। अपना स्प्लिट है रे, 2 बंदे इधर है, 2 बंदे बाकी अपने कहाँ हैं। हल्का सा अपन थोड़ा स्प्लिट है, चारों की जगह है क्या अपन? नहीं स्प्लिट है रे, और स्प्लिट है भाई। स्प्लिट देके ईडा ना जाए बस। ओजी का क्या सीन? ओजी अच्छा सेफ है, 4 मैन जिंदा है। ओजी का अभी के लिए तो बैक क्लियर है। गॉडलाइक को बस ध्यान देना है, स्प्लिट में ना नॉक नहीं ले सकते, नॉक ले तो खत्म। फ्लशी देखो गाइस, उड़ गया। क्या मारा है यार कुप्स ने भाई, मानना पड़ेगा भाई। क्या 1v4, ये 1v1 जिगल देखो रे, क्या जिगल दिया बाप। और क्यूबीसी से इतनी लॉन्ग रेंज में उसने मारा रे वो हिगो भाई को, मजा आ गया। गाइस जो भी डील है ना थोड़ा सा वो अगले मैच से फिक्स करता हूँ, अभी के लिए मैच एंजॉय करो। जो हल्का सा डीले आ रहा ना आपको गेम के साउंड का, वो फिक्स कर दूंगा मैं बाद में, आप लोग एंजॉय करो। अभी के लिए मैच एंजॉय करो बस। देखो अपने पे अच्छा जोन है, अभी ये स्प्लिट है ना, थोड़ा अभी रीग्रुप कर लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये स्प्लिट में ना अभी टीम आएगी भाई, एक आधी भगभगा के सीधा स्लैम मारेगी, अभी भी स्प्लिट रख रहे अपन। S2G वर्सेस टियानबा। अरे ऊपर हिल पे बंदा है, वो मार देगा टियानबा के पुट्टों को, बट सही टाइम पे अंदर घुस गए, सही टाइम पे अंदर घुस के दे दिए। एनजीएक्स यार स्ट्रॉन्ग ब्रो, फाइनल्स में कल का दिन भी अच्छा खेले थे, आज का वो 1v4 कर दिया, उन्हें शुरुआत कर दिया। बाकी फ्लैश का एक ही बंदा बचा है, 43 मार गए फ्लैश के। उला को तो वन साइडेड एनजीएक्स वाला ही खा गया। देखो अभी क्रूशियल क्या है मालूम, अपना स्प्लिट अभी भी है, बट अभी के लिए तो चलो ठीक है, स्प्लिट इतना नुकसान नहीं देगा अभी के लिए, ऐसा डर नहीं है स्प्लिट है बोल के, क्योंकि एक हो रहा ही है जो आराम से आएगी बैक क्लियर करके। नेक्स्ट जोन में तो रीग्रुप करके खेल लेना चाहिए। बाकी ओजी एकदम 4 मैन एकदम टिका के खेल रही, वो लोग स्प्लिट नहीं खेल रहे कुछ भी। एनएस आ सकती है ओजी के पास, XZY ऑलरेडी स्काउटिंग कर रहा ओजी के लिए। अरोरा वर्सेस 40। बस एलिमिनेशन भाई, डेंजर। कास्टर्स की वॉइस गाइस अगले मैच तक फिक्स करवा दूंगा, टेंशन मत लो। मार रही भाई 40, दे दिया अरोरा को। डॉक अकेला बचा, दे दिया रे क्लीन स्वीप विदाउट एनी कैजुअलिटी, खतरनाक। एक बार वापस मैप देखेंगे। अभी के लिए स्प्लिट किल है, स्काई आ रहा धीरे धीरे स्काउटिंग करने के लिए, और इधर एनएस वाले मेरे को लगा ओजी की तरफ स्काउटिंग कर रहे हैं, बट XZY थोड़ा राइट की तरफ अप्रोच रख रहा है, तो कोई सीन नहीं है। बाकी मैं टेक टीम को अभी इन्फॉर्म कर देता हूँ, साउंड का डिले। बोल दिया मैंने टेक टीम को, जो भी डिले होगा वो अगले मैच तक आके वो लोग फिक्स कर देंगे। चलो क्रूशियल जोन, गणपति बप्पा मोरिया, लेट्स गो बॉयज। दे आए गॉडल पे जोन आ गया, अभी रीग्रुप तुरंत कर लेना चाहिए। मान्या और एडमिनो पे सीधा जाओ। प्रैक्टिकली देखा जाए तो मान्या एडमिनो पे ही जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि उधर बैक जाके होरा को मारने के लिए 4 बंदे उधर जाना, फिर ये जगह भी जाएगी। रीग्रुप कर लो बॉयज, 100 में निकल जा नीचे से वेयरहाउस से। जिगल धीरे धीरे मान्या की तरफ ही आ रहा, ओजी को जोन लेना है यारो। एनएस वर्सेस 40 हो गया। ओजी के लिए अप्रोच स्ट्रेट है, ओजी के जो हसियांदा वाला जो मेन अपना हॉट ड्रॉप रहता है, जहाँ पे गोल्डन मिराडो मिलती है, वो पूरा एरिया खाली है रे, और आतंकी पहुंच भी गया उधर। वो एरिया से बस बैक डिफेंड करना है। 40 और एनएस की फाइट को अपन थर्ड पार्टी कर सकते हैं। 100 में 9 को हो रहा से यार, यही चीज का मेरे को, अरे यार यही चीज का होता है यार, वो 100 में को निकलने नहीं दे रहे। अरे यार रीग्रुप नहीं कर पाया रे तुरंत, यही चीज तो बीटी देता, अब उन्हें डब्बा है रे। पावर तू निकल ले, पावर को पकड़ ले तो प्रॉब्लम। अरे यार यही चीज तो मेरे को थोड़ा डर देती बाप, जब जोन बनता उसके बाद तुरंत रीग्रुप करने के लिए अपन जो कैजुअलिटी, कल विस्गॉट भी ऐसे मरा, रीग्रुप करने के लिए जो अपन थोड़ा लेट कर देते ना, जब जोन बनने का रहता ना 5-10 सेकंड पहले, जब टाइमर आता ऊपर कि 10 सेकंड में जोन बन रहा है, गाड़ी लेके मूवमेंट में रखने का रे, तो खुद को फोड़ लिया। अरे बाप रे, जब 10 सेकंड दिखता है ना ऊपर मैप में कि 10 सेकंड में जोन बनने वाला है, तभी गाड़ी मूविंग करके उसको नीचे वेयरहाउस के साइड से ऊपर रिच पे आ जाना चाहिए था। मतलब थोड़ा मूवमेंट रखना चाहिए था यार, मान्य के साइड या एडमिनो के साइड। वहां पे चोक हो गया रे थोड़ा, बेफालतू मारा 100 में, उसको भी कितना रिग्रेट हो रहा रहेगा। और ऐसे टाइम पे ना बहुत मेंटल पूरा बीटी दे देता भाई, और जैसा है मेंटल पूरा बीटी देता वो बहुत दिमाग खराब हो जाता भाई। थ्री मैन हो गए, इतनी अच्छी जगह है अपने पे यारो। मैप देखता हूँ ओजी का क्या सीन, ओजी पहुंच गए देखो हसियांदा का, बहुत अच्छी जगह है। ऑर्डर यारो 3 मैन है, बट कोई दिक्कत नहीं, गेम निकलेगा निकलेगा निकलेगा। गॉडल कम ऑन, टियानबा वर्सेस वाइटैलिटी। क्या बात है, अपना राइट वाला फुल खुश हो गया, वाइटलिटी मार रही तो। वापस मैप दिखा दो एक बार। चलिए अभी के लिए हो रहा अपने पास तो आ नहीं रही, हो रहा अपने को जहां मारी एडमिनो को, सॉरी सौम्य को वहीं पे है अपने पास। एनएस स्लैम कर रही बॉयज, ओजी वर्सेस एनएस, हसियांदा की फाइट 4v4, प्रॉपर 4v4 ओजी के लिए। हाँ प्रॉपर 4v4, प्रॉपर 4v4। इजी ने नॉक निकाल लिया रे आरू पे, ओपनिंग निकाल ली एनएस ने, ओपनिंग निकल गए रे एनएस की। अरे यार भाई, अरे यारो विस्गॉड भी नॉक हो गया यारो, अरे यारो, अरे डब्बा दल गया भाई। आरू अभी भी नॉक है, आरू को रिवाइव नहीं मिला, एके ओपी भी गया। अरे क्लीन स्वीप दे दी भाई एडमिनो, नाइस लेट्स गो, किल लिया एडमिनो, डियान भागा, डब्ल्यू एडमिनो और एक नॉक करा वाइटलिटी का। अब मेरे बाजी चाहिए नहीं। अरे ओजी गई रे पब्लिक, 4v4 क्लीन स्वीप दे दिया भाई एनएस ने, डिफेंड नहीं कर पाए रे अपन। हसियांदा का अपने पे हॉट ड्रॉप था मेन, गोल्डन मिराडो वाला, एनएस आई क्लीन स्वीप करके चले गए यारो। बाकी यहाँ पे गॉडल 4 मैन होती ना, हाँ कसम भाई, सौम्य जैसा बंदा नॉक हो गया यारो, फिनिश। बेफालतू का सौम्य का नुकसान हुआ, वरना क्या गेम निकलता, अभी भी निकल सकता, खतरनाक वाला। क्या बात है एडमिनो, स्प्रे दे मिनो, आने मत दे एडमिनो, गाड़ी फोड़ दे लोगी। अरे आराम से, अरे मार दिया, आपस में लड़ रहे, उसकी टीम अपनी टीम आपस में लड़ रही, और स्लैम कर रहे। अरे अरे पुश कर दिया यारो, अरे पुश कर दिया रे भाई। अरे डब्बा से बैकअप ही नहीं दे पाए। अरे आर्म थी बोल के मालूम ही नहीं रहे अपने बंदे को। अरे यारो, अरे यारो, अरे 2v4 डिफेंड करना पड़ता है वो लोग। अरे सीधा सीधा मान्य और पावर है। अरे यारो थोड़ा नुकसान हो गया ना यहाँ पे, ओम का बॉडी शॉट मारा, वो भी उन्हें ओम थी बोल के मालूम ही नहीं लड़के को। उनको मालूम है 100% गॉड लाइक के दो बंदे इधर ही से। यार गॉडल 4 मैन रहती तो क्या गेम था भाई, एनएस को भी ओजी मारती, डिफेंड करती तो क्या गेम था रे। देखो यार वहां पे हसियांदा के हॉट ड्रॉप से गेम देखो तुम बस, क्या गेम था यार भाई। पहला मैच ही पूरा पंप होके निकाल सकते थे रे भाई, दोनों के दोनों टीम के लिए गोल्डन चांस था। चोक कर दिए, चोक कर दिया पब्लिक, ये थोड़ा चोक कर दिया अपन, 100% चोक कर दिया। चोक कर दिए बाप। आ गया स्लैम, 4 मैन 4v2, चल पावर, कुछ खतरनाक कर दे बाप। नाइस पावर, डब्ल्यू डब्ल्यू मोली, नाइस नाइस, आराम से पावर 10 HP है, पूरी 3 मार दिया। 1v4 1v4, मान्या आजा साथ में, डब्ल्यू मोली पे पावर, आराम से 1v2 है, 1v2 आराम से भाई, मार दिया 1v4। भाई लेट्स फकिंग गो भाई साहब, भाई साहब क्या मारे बाप, क्या मारे बाप रे, क्या 1v4 किया ब्रो, क्या परफेक्ट यूज किया है मोली का भाई, उनका पूरा स्पेस था क्या रे मोली डाल के, और क्या मारा है भाई। प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड देखो भाई बंदे का, मां कसम क्या प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड है भाई।
ग्रोस ट्रेडिंग टर्मिनल इज द ओनली स्क्रीन यू एवर नीड। लाइव टिकर से इंडाइसेस ट्रैक करो और एक फुल्ली कस्टमाइज
इनसेन भाई, इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे इतना क्रेजी क्लच भाई। ये क्लच, ये 1v4 अभी तक पूरे टूर्नामेंट का सबसे बेस्ट 1v4 है। अपन ने मिलू का आरआरक्यू वाला 1v4 देखा, बट दिस वाज समथिंग इनसेन। सोलो सोलो हैंडल करके मारा है भाई, क्या खेला है भाई पावर, मां कसम भाई साहब, क्या मारा है भाई, क्या मारा है, बाप रे भाई, मां कसम इनसेन, मां कसम भाई इनसेन सोलो हैंडल किया है भाई। मोली से पहला नॉक, फिर शॉटगन से 2 नॉक, उसके बाद चौथे बंदे को भी स्पेस ही नहीं दिया भाई, मोली डाल के जला जला के मारा। माकियांग स्पेशल डे, स्पेशल क्लच, मजा आ गया भाई, मजा आ गया, इनसेन यार। 4 मैन रहते क्या गेम निकलता भाई यहाँ से। अभी मैप की स्ट्रीम देख मेरे को, एक सेकंड ना, मैप वाला यार, 4 मैन रहते क्या गेम निकलता, पूरा रिज है रे सामने। क्या हो रहा है भाई यार, क्या खेला भाई, वाह कसम, ये तो भाई पूरा इंडिया पागल हो गया रहेगा अभी भाई। ये क्लच के ऐसे एडिट बनाओ ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। पावर अब तू तेरा काम कर दिया, अब तू नॉक हो गया, कोई सीन नहीं, कोई सीन नहीं। पावर वेल प्लेड लड़के, वेल प्लेड शेर, मां कसम दिमाग घूम गया रे। मान्या भी गया, चलो कोई दिक्कत नहीं भाई। बट एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो अपना ओजी का और गॉडलाइक का दोनों का गेम था, दोनों का गेम था। गॉडलाइक भी सौमे का लॉस बेफालतू हुआ, मीनो का लॉस भी बेफालतू का हुआ, उसको पता नहीं था शायद ऑम है, एंड वो लोग तुरंत के तुरंत चढ़ गए। बट उसके बाद पावर ने जो 4 पॉइंट निकाले, 100% पूरा क्रेडिट उसको जाता है भाई, 100% क्रेडिट उसको जाता है। क्या खेल के निकाला है भाई, दिमाग घूम गया भाई, दिमाग घूम गया ब्रो, दिमाग घूम गया भाई, मां कसम यार, फाइट निकाली है भाई। इनसेन भाई, इनसेन। क्या लग रहा है, किसका चिकन लग रहा है बॉयज, कमेंट करके बताओ। और पावर के लिए एक बार डब्ल्यू कर दो चैट में, स्केलेटन इमोजी पावर के नाम के साथ, और इंडिया का फ्लैग फुल ऑन स्पैम मारो। स्पेशल डे, फर्स्ट मैच, इनसेन क्लच। आई फील लाइक ये क्लच को भाई मिल जाएगा रिवॉर्ड, द बेस्ट क्लच ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट का रिवॉर्ड इसको मिलेगा 100% भाई। मेरे को तो लग रहा है साला पावर को कोई उठाना लेंगे इंटरनेशनल टीम वाले, हमारे साथ आके हिल बोल के, जिस हिसाब से मारा है। हाय, सो मे बी आफ्टर दिस मैच आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू, या जस्ट 5 minutes आई गेस। भाई साहब इनसेन, 2-2 1v4 देखने मिल गए, कूप्स का एक पावर का, एक ही मैच में। टीए वर्सेस हो रहा उधर, एनजीएक्स फुल ऑन ईडा। अरे ये तो उनका पर्सनल फाइट है भाई, रॉफ तो टेबल चढ़ के नाचेगा, मार दिया ईडा को तो, अरे मार दिया एनजीएक्स भाई, दे दी बाबू ने, रॉफ जा रहा। ओए और फ्री फायर कंटिन्यू करता, डेड था उन्हें ब्रो। एनजीएक्स इनसेन ब्रो, क्या खेल रही है भाई। इनको जब मालूम पड़ेगा ईडा है, और पंप और के घुसेंगे। पता ये लाइन पे लड़ाई होने वाली है, रिकॉर्ड कर ले। वो रॉफ बहुत चिल्ला, अरे मां कसम। टू वी 3 ईडा वर्सेस एनजीएक्स का एक क्रूशियल फाइट। बाकी उल्फ और ये दोनों 4-4 मैन जिंदा है, वे उल्फ पे भी अच्छी जगह है। गया एक रीटा भाई तो गए, फटा नहीं रे, हाँ फट गया। खूब गरम है, पड़ेगा क्या डब्लू भाई। रो भाई आराम से, रो भाई हेडफोन नहीं उतरना भाई, अभी गेम बाकी है, एंड जोन जाना है। रो भाई इधर ई और उल्फ का अलग ही चल रहा, एनजीएक्स को ये रोक के रखी यार। ये तो इंटेंस 4v4 है, रुको मैप दिखाता। ये के पास पूरी स्पेस है रे, उल्फ के पास भी पूरी स्पेस है। एनजीएक्स तो गई, एंड जोन 4v4 देखने मिलेगा। एंड जोन 4v4 देखने मिलेगा आपने भी। उल्फ का एक नॉक हो गया बाय द वे भाई। पावर ने जो मारा है भाई, दिमाग घूम गया भाई, दिमाग कैसा। एंट्री देख रहे क्या तुम गाड़ी का? और भाई क्या मोली डाले रे डब्ल्यू। बट इस टाइम पे एनजेक्स के 2 बंदे जोन क्लोजिंग कर सकते हैं क्योंकि इन दोनों की लड़ाई हो गई। उनको टाइम मिल जाएगा अभी स्पेस बनाने का, जल्दी से जल्दी निकलना होगा उनको, बाद में टाइम नहीं मिलेगा फिर। ब्रो ट्रेड नॉक आया, रीसेट होने का टाइम है। नहीं और एक नॉक दे दिया, एनजेक्स के बंदे ने पीछे से उल्टा गेम खराब कर दिया। आखिरी बंदा बचा, डैम लेट्स गो ब्रो, एनजेक्स सेकंड आ गई। अब ये 8 किल, एनजेक्स के 2 मार के 10 किल चिकन डिनर। ठीक है यार, अपनी दोनों टीम के लिए अच्छा गेम जा सकता था ब्रो, जोन था, सब कुछ था। ओजी को बस एनएस की फाइट 4v4 डिफेंड करना था, वहां से गेम निकलता यार, वहां से गेम निकलता रे, प्रॉपर गेम निकलता वहां से। बाकी गॉडलाइक का वो 100 में का कैजुअलिटी बहुत बुरा हुआ है भाई। 4 मैन गॉडल स्ट्रॉन्ग रहना जरूरी है यार, क्योंकि गन पावर इंडिविजुअली बहुत ज्यादा है हर एक प्लेयर में। एक एक प्लेयर ऐसा सोलो पिक ऑफ होता है ना तो नुकसान हो जाता है भाई, क्योंकि कभी भी गॉडलाइक का जब 4v4 होता है ना, अभी तो पावर ने 1 साइडेड निकाल लिया, बट उस 4v4 में अपन भी है ना यारो, जल्दी रीसेट होने के लिए चारों अलाइव रहना जरूरी है ताकि आगे गेम बनाए। अभी पावर ने जैसा 1v4 किया, उसके बाद आगे गेम बनाने के लिए कैसा है, 2 ही बंदे, 2 बंदों में आगे गेम बनाना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है भाई। वहां पे 4 मैन क्या गेम बनता आगे, उल्फ के साथ प्रॉपर लेते फाइट, स्पेस बनाते, एंगल बना के मारते, तो मैन डिसएडवांटेज बिल्कुल भी अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते बनाने वाले गेम में। बट ये पावर के 1v4 की वजह से प्लेयर्स पंप हुए रहेंगे भाई, अलग लेवल, इंटरली पागल हो गए होंगे चिल्ला के, अरे क्या मार दिया, पंप हो गए रहेंगे 100%, सारे लड़के पंप हो गए भाई। ऐसी टीम को भी नहीं मारा, वाइटैलिटी को मारा भाईगन। कौन से प्लेयर है सामने, देखो कैसा मारा वो भी तो देखो, वाइटैलिटी को मारा है भाईगन। बाजू वाला अपने यारो अच्छा डाउन टू अर्थ स्ट्रीमर है, बट उसका सर पकड़ लिया उन्हें ये क्या हो गया भाई। चलो ईए का चिकन, एनजीएक्स 2 मैन। बाकी मैच के बाद कास्टर की आवाज ऑन करता हूँ, टेंशन ना करो, जैसे ही चिकन होता फिर मैं अपन करते हैं। चलो यार ये खत्म करो ना भाई, हो गया, चल खत्म, चलो खत्म। अब मैं वॉल फीड ऑन कर रहा हूँ, ऑडियो फिक्स करता हूँ, ठीक है। लाइक एंड सब बॉयज, जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं मेक श्योर लाइक एंड सब।
menyelenggarakan turnamen ini. Saya sangat mengapresiasi dan berterima kasih karena telah diundang ke sini dan saya sangat senang dan vibes-nya di sini sangat-sangat real, nyata, memang benar-benar keren banget.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for EWC and PMWC for inviting me here. It's been a very surreal experience, and it's a very real experience as well. And it's just gonna goes on and on and on.
It's great to have you here. Now we can see that obviously you are supporting Team Vitality while you're here. The boys from Indonesia are performing really well on the main stage. Tell us like a bit about the boys and how they're getting on, and how do you think they're gonna do here at PMWC in the finals?
Tentunya kan kamu di sini datang sebagai pendukung Vitality juga. Gimana pendapatmu tentang tim Vitality yang sudah bertanding di PMWC ini? Terus habis itu juga gimana apa harapan kamu kepada tim Vitality?
Harapan saya untuk tim Vitality, terakhir Indonesia mengangkat Piala Dunia di 2019. Semoga di 2026 ini bisa kembali mengangkat Piala Dunia kembali. Dan saya mensupport Vitality sangat-sangat dengan keras, dengan antusias yang besar bersama dengan viewer saya di live streaming. Bahkan mereka sudah meramaikan stiker-stiker Bigetron dan Vitality di kolom komentar. Mereka full support buat Vitality hari ini.
Of course, the last time that Indonesia wins the World Cup is back in 2019, and now 2026. I can only hope that they can win it again, and I can only also wish the best for them. I will give them my full support. As of course, also the viewers in the chat and the live stream also they give their full support now, and we will hope for the best for Vitality.
How have the chat been since you've been here? Like, how has the experience been while you've been co-streaming right here with the event going on behind you? What's the chat been like? How has the streaming experience been for you here on the main stage?
Jadi gimana pengalaman kamu tentang live streaming di Paris di EWC ini? Begitu pula juga dengan ya apa sih vibes chatnya dari selama ini yang bertanding dan juga pengalaman kamu juga live stream di sini?
Pertama-tama mungkin dari peralatannya ya kok, karena peralatannya di sini benar-benar bagus, benar-benar disupport banget. Saya senang banget bisa difasilitasi buat bisa jadi co-stream di sini. Dan untuk viewers di live chat, mereka semua senang karena melihat peralatan yang proper ada di sini.
First of all, I just want to say this is like the best equipment I have ever found. This is like a full equipment that I never even used myself. So it's just like a very surreal experience so far. Yeah.
Well, and Jang, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here at EWC. PMWC has 2 more days of competition, and we can't wait to see you on your co-stream popping off. So thank you so much for joining us in this interview. Enjoy the rest of your experience here. We'll check back in with you on Sunday. Back to you guys.
ไม่ออกติดกูหันหลังสมองนะเอาเลยนะขวาตัวเดียวที่เหลืออีกตัวหนึ่งนะอยู่ซ้ายก็จอดนะมีเกก็มีตาสุดตัวเดียวตรงนั้นตัวเดียวให้ผมดิไอ้ก็เจนเตอร์ลึกกันเราเจอตัวได้คิวป่ะตัวท้ายอ่ะได้หมดเลย
Arena coming in hot, wanting to maintain that first place. And boy, what a start for this team here in day 2, even though we're going to be playing some matches from day 1. Still, E-Arena, this is what we've been wanting to see, especially when you teased us with the 29 eliminations.
Yeah, I was like, we cannot afford to see a flash in the pan kind of performance from E-Arena, but man, they delivered. Now, I will say, the reason why they won is some teams doing some mistakes, right? We'll dive into it a little bit deeper here with Natura, but man, E-Arena putting up the 10 placement points from that chicken dinner, 10 eliminations on top of that. They were already number 1.
Yeah.
And now they're creating a gap.
Yes.
Hey, it seems like this tournament might be the chase after the White Rabbits.
Absolutely. Like, you've got Enigma Galaxy coming in here. They were in 3rd place coming into the first game here, so they've done a bit to extend that gap a little bit more. But you've got Ulf, you've got 4 Thrives. Those kinds of teams, they're also bringing some heat to the game here, Lace.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going on about still this first 29 match. Did you guys have eyes yesterday? E-Arena, have been performing the entire time. This ain't even their first chicken dinner. They have actually had so much progression through every single match. It's been amazing to watch. Yeah, we're going to revert back to that, that huge statement they made in the group stages, but their consistency has been key.
Yeah, for Enigma Galaxy, it's all about that goose because this man has been performing. He actually baited Furia into rushing him after they were able to eliminate Lord, and Cooks was able to handle them all by himself.
He got the revenge he was looking for. I mean, Cooks, you know that we were missing him during PMWC Season 1, and he's been putting up the numbers. But look at this. Let's quickly go through that 1v4 scenario. During this entire fight, Cooks is on the mountain, uncontested, and this is not a position you should be willing to push. I feel like this is a big fumble from Furia. This is not a fight you should be even willing or even thinking about taking. And Cooks here, having the time, going to flush the elimination, deny an extra information from Furia. But this grenade, one of the best grenades of the tournament, a Maxman grenade of the day, as he gets that 1v2 and then sprays him down from a distance. He gets the headshot, eliminates the final player. What an insane clutch, but so did S-Power Niptura.
Didn't he just? I mean, I wanted to replay this because look at what he's able to do here. This guy is a machine. The angles, the quick flicks. He's using these angles. He gets that one. He realizes that Razak is coming around, gets that elimination, and then he knows he doesn't have time to heal up, so he throws the Molotov in there, tries to come out, tries to get these angles going, and that is just buys enough time for his teammate to come on in. The Molotov will go forward. It's fantastic.
I gotta say, that Molotov he put to try and clear his backside, that was one of the best Molotov. That is a global level Molotov coming out from his power. He is showing he has what it takes to be up here.
Absolutely. I love what we're seeing from him today.
I love what we're seeing out of him today as well. I love what we were seeing out of Four Thrives in this last match. Four Thrives being very aggressive, especially with being able to chase some of the other teams. Talking about chasing too. We got a chance to see Enigma Galaxy versus Ida towards the end as well. It doesn't matter, Max, and Lace and Aptura, if it's Pachinki, it doesn't matter where it's at. Enigma Galaxy has their number, but when we're talking about some of the other teams, Four Thrives versus Aurora.
Yes.
We gotta mention that because it was so quick and then Doc with them.
We're not going to talk about Auroras. We're not going to talk about it.
I'll talk about Four Thrives though. Look, they had such an immense sort of split hold in the hillside while Aurora was sort of making their rotate, and it was only a matter of time before they were able to do that. And what we were obviously touching on yesterday is their pacing. So obviously when they get that first contention and then following up with the fight, their pacing is back to what we want to see. So it's very, very impressive that they were able to do that. Unfortunately, they did have IQ at the southern side trying to find a position in zone whilst that contention was going on. Nongshim Red Bulls was sort of running up the eastern side, so they kind of like fell a little bit short there trying to move in because there wasn't much cover for them to sort of progress through that. And I mean, then it was just down to, you know, a little solo, and unfortunately he was found out because Top actually was sitting on top of a building, and that's probably the best spot and the only spot that could have been played.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very, very, very happy with Four Thrives. T24 especially coming in clutch there. He's back on that long range with the Mini. He's back supporting his teammates really, really well. And the whole squad is just looking very, very different from yesterday into today. They're looking very confident. They look like they know what they're doing. They have those final decision-making skills back and at them. And here we see him, 6th place, coming in clutch here.
That's right, Four Thrives being able to jump up that leaderboard with 33 points. But E-Arena with the win starting to create that gap, Max. And this is something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on what kind of gap we're going to be seeing from 1st place to 2nd place and the rest of the teams.
Not really happy with the Arena, right? Of course, you're looking at the consistency. You remove their chicken dinners, their non-games. Like, they're a little bit low on the placement point side of things, but you know what? You can still get 2 chicken dinners over the course of, what is that, 5 games? That's an insane win ratio. So it kind of takes out of the equation the consistency when you get these big wins. But though, going on to the 2nd page, one team I really want to highlight here, Niptura, is Hora. I feel like this should have been at least bare minimum a podium finish.
Yes.
But the moment E-Arena just slightly started pushing up on the mountain, they crumble and they give the high ground position for free. I think Hora really threw that game.
They're not the only ones. Ulf did the exact same thing. They did the exact same thing here. Hopefully they don't do it again.
Hora threw that game, but I did like the aggressiveness that we got a chance to see out of Hora, and I'm hoping that it's going to continue on here. Let's see what's going to be happening on the 2nd Miramar, because it's getting spicy here. Hot Jukes. John, take it away.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. The aggression is going to be at an all-time high here. We're already seeing multiple 1v4s to start us off here. And I think we're just getting started. A whole bunch of matches left to go. My Jukes next to the legendary John Allen. 1 game down and a whole bunch more to go.
Oh yeah, we've got our second Miramar today, of which we're going to be treated to 4 Miramars over the course of today. We're going to end on 12 matches played total of our 18-match set. We're going to set that smash boundary. A lot to play for today. And if the arena can continue to perform in the way that they are, that smash boundary is going to be so far away from everybody else, it's not even going to be worth thinking about.
And that is what they're going to be doing. You heard Max say it earlier. Everyone's going to be chasing the White Rabbit here in this tournament. You can see the fans are so hyped, excited, beauty side of things, pumped up, waiting for them to start making something happen. Unfortunately, they got taken out by Coops in that one. It is what it is, but a bounce back is imminent. That's for sure. First place, $500,000. Second place, $250,000. So a lot of money is on the line here, folks. And let's see which team is going to push themselves and try to catch E-Arena.
It's not just about that cold, hard cash. It's about that warm feeling in your heart when you realize you are the new champions here at the PMWC, at the EWC. For 2026, there's no team here to defend that title, right? Out 7. Don't know where they've gone. They must have gone home or something, you know, so, something like that. Yangon Galacticos also not making it to these finals, but it's time for another team to sit on that throne, to sit atop the rest. Let's get things going.
Yeah, let's see which team it's going to be here. Southern playing path here on this one. So we're mixing things up for sure. And this is going to be that second Miramar match. So after this one, if it wasn't hot already, we're going to get Toronto, right? That's going to be a crazy change of pace. Top players so far, you can see Milu right there, 3,000. Damn, what a day this guy had yesterday, man. Everything considered, this guy is an absolute monster. And let's just see where Tianbo will end up. All these teams, so many big names, so many top squads. Enigma Galaxy, honestly, I really want to give this squad so much props. I mean, to be in second place, considering that these guys dealt with so many hot drops, is pretty insane.
Yeah, over on Erangel, it certainly was the main feature of their early games. Fortunately for them, though, Ida didn't do anything other than just sort of give points to them, it seemed like. So it was kind of only really one map where 4 Thrives actually third-partied it in that hot drop, where Enigma Galaxy didn't actually have a pretty okay start to their Erangel, right? So for me, it's definitely Ida that needs to move today, but we'll be seeing that later on. And they have been able to profit quite nicely. I mean, you get those 4 points right at the start of the match. That's a good profit already, right? I was talking about how I want to see consistency across a lot of games, across the whole set, rather than just these big pop-offs once or twice over the course of it. And that's exactly what you want, right? If you're able to get 4 points, it's not unlikely you can get 1 or 2 more, and that is a massive boon to your point-scoring tally. That's what Enigma Galaxy have been able to find.
Yeah, and again, fortunately for them, it works out with the fact that A7's not here. They're taking El Pozo, which is one of the highest loot areas, if not the highest, in this map. So they're going to be very, very well kitted. They've made some great plays this tournament so far. And yeah, you know, we were talking about them in Erangel. Ida did feed them, essentially, but you still got to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy to win a hot drop and keep everybody up. And they're able to do it time and time again, but E-Arena catching out IQ 4 Thrives. That's a huge loss for them.
Oh, that is nasty. Not a good opener, and a pretty great opener for E-Arena. Put themselves now on 69 points total.
Nice.
And they get a free buggy delivery. What more could you ask for? Unfortunate there for 4 Thrives to be losing a player like that. That's a little bit careless, I think, in my book. Should have been a little bit more aware of the surroundings, but not to be. E-Arena causing problems already this match.
Man, E-Arena making it happen. Looking on over to 4 Thrives saying, Kapkun Krab, that means thank you in Thai.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Very, very happy so far. 69 points on top of leaderboards, and only just beginning. That smash point threshold is going to be where it's at. So if your E-Arena have just they continue to have such a fortuitous day today, their goal should be to just set that point threshold so dang high that nobody can possibly Smash in the final day. Now, so far in the history, we've seen one team smash at an international event. That's going to be Nongshim Red Force, and that was just earlier this year at the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational. It was, I believe, Furia that was on top with the most points, but Nongshim Red Force won that final game just by the skin of their teeth, and that automatically made them the champs. So
yeah, I think it was a 1 point. They were 1 point behind the leaders as well, so
yeah,
they needed to win via Smash. It wasn't just a case of winning the game. So a really nice ending for them there, but that's that fairy tale not really converting over to Paris, unfortunately, for Nongshim Red Force. At the moment, they're in 9th place, still very much doable, but they have got a little bit of a way to go on that one.
yes, they do. They gotta make sure that they just stay secure in the end game here. Can't afford any slip-ups at all. Gotta be able to make some plays. Man, that 1v4 earlier from S-Power was so dang hype. They're still having a rough day of it so far, though. 13th place. We haven't even reached the halfway point of this tourney, though, so they still got plenty of time to bounce back. But if they want to win this thing, they've already kind of burned through the bad games that they can already afford. They really need to start putting up some good, solid, consistent points here. Because when you see E-Arena on top, that's a major threat. I mean, we've seen this team earlier in this tournament break a PUBG Mobile record for the most points. Again, so silly that they didn't make it into that into the finals off of it.
Well,
but they got some little extra, survival cash, I guess.
Yeah, sure. But that's the point, right? It's a huge, massive, incredible game. Wow, brilliant, bright lights and billboards, sure. But then they weren't able to do much after that. So it was a big fall off coming through from the arena, and to that end, they didn't deserve to make it straight to the grand final through that. So to be able to come through survivals, fantastic. Okay, now they've started to really up that game, keep that momentum going. This is a much better scenario, which is kind of why what I was alluding to before is I prefer this chicken dinner that we just saw from Arena to the one that we saw in Rondo in terms of quality, in terms of an indicator for what we might expect for the rest of this phase.
Yeah, and we got to be honest too. I mean, these guys very luckily made it here into the finals. They were barely able to pass up the Wolves.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, to see them barely make it in, at least I think it gives a lot of relief, right? Because for all the Wolves fans out there, they're like, we were so close.
Yeah.
But for E-Arena to actually pop off, it's like, okay, you know what? The team that made it deserved it, right? Like, they're actually doing something here. And if they were at the bottom of the leaderboards, it'd be like, kind of a waste. But they're not messing around. I think that the way this tournament fared for them so far was kind of a perfect storm, right? Because they had the record, don't make it. They barely make it here. And I think that really just lit a fire in them to be like, you know what? We got to just play our game. Let's go full-fledged aggro. And then that's what's happening, because they are just pushing team after team after team as a full squad and just picking them apart little by little.
A lot of teams will unravel under that kind of pressure. You need to keep your mind thinking forwards. We saw some monumental plays in that last game, so
yeah,
I'm hoping that the nerves aren't going to be too rattled for a couple of our squads. It's going to be difficult, not only on the losing side of those fights, but again, on the winning side of those fights. Because in those scenarios, that adrenaline just hits your system. And it can end up, once it drains out after the end of the game, that can be a real detriment to your performance. And that's when you need to rely on the rest of your team, on the advice of your coach, the feeling of comfort, hopefully, that you can find with the rest of it, to be able to absorb the impact of falling from that great height.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of height, right? The zone goes all the way up to the tippy top here.
Going back.
Yeah, near Crater Fields, near the Hacienda del Patron area. We just saw this circle not too long ago in the last match. So teams are going to be trying to take a similar spot to what they had here. Like, yeah, why don't we go to that same spot we were at last time? We won from there. We'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit further west. It does keep a lot of those Crater Fields areas in, but it is very similar, you're right, in terms of that location. Aurora spotting a player from Furia, but Coops will not stop in just one game. He's going to find shots onto them again. I feel like they should definitely be aware of his location this time around. But losing a player, you know, for Furia, that's not a good feeling. That is not a good feeling.
Yeah, that's Miramar for you. It's tough. I mean, you're trying to rotate, and losing players on rotation is a rite of passage here. You try to avoid it as much as possible, but just sometimes there can be that one guy there waiting for you. You can see Godlike getting peppered up from Lost. And all these players just ridiculously good at shooting people out of vehicles. And Jiggle, I heard the crowd pop off. Jiggle ends up taking out quick from Aula.
I mean, they did it last time very early on. This time it's taking them a couple more minutes, but same start to unfold. Hora have managed to transition down towards that south and look to control the really sharp high ground that sits to the east of Crater Fields and overlooks a lot to that south side. So a powerful position for them to hold if they can maintain it. A little crash between Flash over on the east side and Vitality. That very quickly concludes with one casualty. Win trying to get some revenge, but not really connecting as Razak bumbles over the top, but doesn't eat damage either.
There goes Vitality, rotating away. They take that elimination and run with it. Federalis driving outside of the zone here, maybe looking for another vehicle. Seems that's what they have their eyes on here. No Fear popping out the buggy though, gonna be putting some pressure onto Aurora. They're on the rotation, and they're gonna get caught out by Ulf. No Fear's gonna push up a little bit closer here. Scarface through the nade, into the building, catches out top, and that is Aurora getting picked apart here in match number 2.
Only one player now left standing. I do not think Doc is going to get the backup. He is over 500, probably about 700 meters away from them right now, in the shadow of Nigma Galaxy on the west side. You just can't move. This is an easy set of flushes coming through. Ult have got this roadside compound. They've got quite a decent amount of cover. It's Hora who sit on their northwest across the road, up on that high ground. So for them, for Ult, I'm feeling like they're fairly safe. This next circle might put more pressure on them, but being as central as they are, it's unlikely.
Yeah, they don't pretty much have to move very much at all. Yeah, they don't have to move at all here with this next circle. Vitality, though, over there by water treatment, they're going to have to push on in. Near Nongshim Red Force on the south side are going to have to get into some battles here very, very shortly. And that's just because Nongshim always land on that southern end. So a northern circle like this makes them late to the circle. We'll see what their decision-making is here, as Tianba looking to put themselves in a slightly more central position as Sleepy gets a nice knock there on Aaron.
S2G are also pushing in from this northeast side. Aaron down, allows Tianba to move in. Eagle and Milu in with the same vehicle, but there's a beautiful spray down. What a response coming through from Solus, holding in the face of the push. QZ wants to try and turn it around, but Solus has more left in the ammunition. Wow! Oh, we'll find a third. Looking for now the last player of Tianba. QZ with the M249 is being hunted. Ketch steps into the fight as well to assist his teammate, but there is still more to do. QZ won't go down, but he finally falls, and Solus stands in the face of Tianba. Says not today.
Not today, indeed, as Ulf with a beautiful stiff arm onto Tianba. And you can see the pressure is on. You can see the player Gam Catch relieved after that one. What a play from Solus, though, to be able to shut him down.
There you go. Tian bounced out of that compound. It was not to be. I mean, what a lineup there. A little bit wayward on the crash. It felt discoordinated between the two players in the vehicle. Not quite what you want to see from Tianba. I don't want to say lazy. I feel like it was being harried by Hora with the off angles there on the northwest side. S2G were putting pressure on the back of that, and it became a little bit too chaotic. They couldn't quite find their way through it. There was no way that they could navigate that storm, unfortunately. But for Solus, that is a monumental clip farm. Not quite a 1v4, Jukes. It was pretty damn close.
That's as close to a 1v4 as it gets here, folks. I'm telling you, big plays coming out of here in the finals. Axel getting naded up pretty good, peppered by Al-Ula. Let's look at the replay here. Solus with these headshots. Taking out that duo. And still finding himself some good movement here. Yeah, as soon as he sees QGZ, comes on out, pops a nade on accident, and gets the knock.
Oh, okay, we're back in with Alola versus Vitality. One over the top. Look for another as well. There are 3 players alive on side for Alola. but there is damage pouring back over towards Vitality as Razy now and Axel have to step into the fight to try and keep this one going. Razak gets shut down though as S2G are flowing out to third party on the north side here. Kamikaze, Solke, both moving into position. Lost is out on a north wide flank too.
Axel trying to find some high ground here, trying to find an off angle. Razy just forced to just run out in the open, no vehicle to his name. Trying to be able to help out Federalis. Federalis is not, and it looks like he will be thirsty here because it's taking a long time. Meanwhile, S2G decided to just back things up. Say, you know what, we don't want none of this zone going down south. Let's prioritize that instead. And Razy is going to start cresting that hill. Can he spot out one of these players of Alula? He sees Rep. When he's going to take that shot? No, does not see a good sight line. Decides to back on up.
Yeah, it doesn't have the team shots to be on. Well, doesn't have a team to take shots with. Is more accurate here for Razy. You need to be 100% sure that you can lock down a knock, or maybe even a flush. Ida getting rolled down by Orangutan there. Nicely done, but there's still a little bit more to do. Ida being devastated yet again. Rita now the last to stand. Aru and Atanki about face for another approach. Rita cooking a nade to try and slow things down, but there's an off angle coming through from Arena, who is stepping up and forcing him over the ridgeline into the firing line of Orangutan, who get 4 elims on the game and send Ida packing.
There we go, and that's going to be the 15th place team so far. Starting to turn things up, but here we go. It's the White Rabbits battling it out against 4 Thrives. Turney K getting the flushes. It's all up to Falak, and it ain't going to be good enough. Arena just putting in that work, and they're going to keep their whole team alive.
And back up they get. Nicely done, nicely done. We saw Razy doing a lot of work against Alola. Hang on a minute. This is a solo? A solo against Alola on the north side? Where did that come from? Razy's popping off on the north as a solo.
3 eliminations. Razy putting the points here for Team Vitality. The Indo squad looking good here, as they're going to be pushing into this next zone. And we're looking at this next circle as it is just south of Crater Fields. You got OG on that southern end right next to Arena. That battle should happen out any soon. And now you got Enigma Galaxy right next to Nongshim Red Force as well. Let's see how they're going to play this out. Coop's got that Mini 14 looking from that long-range headshot.
I'm also looking at S2G on the northeast side of the circle right now, Jukes. They have to push in, and as a 4, do you go in the shadow of Horror, or do you try and sweep down and push past Flash? But it is a difficult approach for S2G, and they do not have long to make that choice. I feel like they are committed much more up to the north edge and could potentially challenge Horror on that northern side.
Let's see how this is going to play out. Schwepp's got the high ground as well. This is still only stage 4 here, folks. Admino does get knocked, though, from Godlike and flushed. So it's only going to be 2 players up for the side of Godlike. OG in the same boat with the duo. Driving around, just trying to get a little bit of intel. Doc is nearby. You got to watch out for that. Meanwhile, Aura from the high ground are trying to catch S2G out on the rotate here. Sleepy is able to put some suppressive fire, keep him away for now. Kamikaze's buggy is smoking, and he's going to get popped out of here by No Fear.
Oh, that is a scary sight. Crescent Ridgeline, No Fear. Spiking the heart rate of S2G as they try and make their way in. They did have to make that choice in the end. But moving in, they've managed to get 3 through and into a position which is at least tenable, but not really super beneficial to their long-term prospects. In the circle, though, which is good. Not the same can be said for Enigma Galaxy, Arena, Flash, Ulf. These teams going to have to move when the time comes. So, a good result, but if they keep getting picked apart with Razy still doing bits, hang on a minute, no, that was over the sky. So, Horror are suffering. This solo long ranger on the north edge, Vitality, letting us know. Okay, this is the replay of the 1v, I think 3.
Yeah, there we go. Yasser catches him out as he pops out the vehicle. And then, pow, beautiful use of that ridgeline. Razy just picking apart Alula. Those mistakes, man, making it look easy there.
Yeah, that was pretty clean. Swaps out to the bayonet as well for the final moment. I wanted him to run it through there a little bit. That would have been the coolest. But you know what? You're looking pretty cool already. Razy still with a knife fixed at the end of the barrel.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what Razy can do with it. He's going to be holding on to that AUG as well. No fear up on top of the hill, doing a good job of applying that suppressive fire on these teams trying to find a way into this next zone. Oh, Razy soaking up the points as a solo here for Team Vitality.
I mean, since he's been a solo, he's got 4 eliminations. He's weakened Horus' hold on this northern side as well,
Yeah,
which I think is a really big factor here. With 4 players, Horus are basically unable. With 3, that's a different conundrum altogether. Ulf could potentially have an opening road towards them if they don't go down in this spot, because Sleepy has got that angle. But if Sleepy gets knocked, if he gets spotted, Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy... Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy... Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy... Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy...
पूरिया अच्छी न्यूज है अपने लिए। अरे अपना बंदा नॉक हुआ, अपना बंदा किससे नॉक हुआ भाई? अरे आरू नॉक फिनिश हो गया और अपना एक बंदा लो है रे, 10 HP अपन 10 HP अपना लड़का टॉप 8 लेके आया। अरे उन्हें कहां से नॉक हो गया? नॉक फिनिश आरू। अच्छा राइट में कंपाउंड वाले FL वाले भाई। सोलो सर्वाइवर बहुत है रे, डॉग वगैरह मर गए तो अपनी पोजीशन ऊपर आ जाएंगी, प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट मिलेंगे अपने को। सोलो सोलो बहुत जिंदा है रे, सोलो सोलो। बाय 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 बाय, मिलते बाद में। सोलो सोलो बहुत ज्यादा लोग जिंदा है रे भाई। कुछ चाहिए तो लेके जा। H2G वाले मार्क करके रखे पाजी को। पाजी के एकदम कंपाउंड के एंड में जोन है क्या? ओरा वाले हिल पे बैठे हुए, हिल से अभी हम लास्ट मैच 1v4 देखे थे। अभी कुछ करेंगे क्या जिगल? हिल पे बैठ के जिगल जिगल देते गया तो खत्म है मसला मैच। यूरा का पोटा साइलेंस 4 किल ले लिया, इसके लिए साइलेंस है कास्टर। इसके लिए आप लोगों को कास्टर की आवाज नहीं आ रही, बिकॉज़ साइलेंस इज प्लेइंग मैन। वाइटलिटी का रीजी जो 4 किल लेके बैठा, मेरे राइट वाला लड़का रीजी के लिए पूरा पागल हो गया भाई। अच्छा है, बाजू बाजू हम दोनों खुश है। 7 किल लेके ओजी पब्लिक टॉप 7 में। उल्फ का एक सोलो सर्वाइवर, वाइटलिटी का एक सोलो सर्वाइवर, औरा का एक सोलो और अरोरा का, औरा बोल रहा हूँ। ये 3 सोलो सर्वाइवर मर गए ना, अपन सीधा टॉप 4 आ रहे। अभी 3 सोलो सर्वाइवर मरने के लिए सबसे पहले जो मर सकता इन्हें भाड़काओ मर सकता। भाड़काओ नहीं भाई, आपको नहीं भाई, आप बाजू ही चाहिए। सॉरी बाजू, ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए। उठ के मार वार दिया बैगन। पहले ही इंडोनेशिया में आ रहे हो, बॉक्सिंग बहुत, MMA बहुत खतरनाक चलती, थाईलैंड वगैरह में, इंडोनेशिया वगैरह में ट्रेनिंग भयंकर है। वहां पे आके दे दिया बैगन, प्रॉब्लम हो जाएंगी। अरे पाजी को कहीं को पकड़ रहे रे, पाजी यार भाई अगर उधर उन लोग मरते तो अपने को प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट मिलते, बट कोई दिक्कत नहीं लड़कों, 7 किलो जी आई वापस, 7 किलो जी आई वापस. Okay, wait. It shows this.
Points here. Only 6 teams remaining.
The thing for Aura right now is that they know there's a solo on the north side.
No.
Which gives them a little minor advantage if there's going to be a third-party fight between them and Furia. His Raze's angle might not be known. S2G take a shot from Eren, who is their solo from Ulf. And Eren finds the flush as well. So S2G
Oh, finally, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There's a lot of
Let's go. Finally, Caster's voice आ गई भाई. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
अब तो Caster voice आ गया. अब तो लड़के मारेंगे. Let's go. अब कोई रोक ही नहीं सकता ब्रो. तुम्हारे भाई को आ जाओ.
No fear. Oh, instant confirmation too. MCG's really hurt.
Thought he's going to throw the pan there.
Yeah,
No.
that would have been nice.
Pulls
Just
the
say,
pin on the nade.
take some of this. How about some of that? Long nade.
अब तो Caster की आवाज भी आ गई लाला.
And it looks like S2G should be able to get the reses here. Does he have a Molotov for another nade? Because, I mean, he has the high ground. He might have the arm to get there.
It doesn't look like they're going to go for it. The res likely to be coming through now. For S2G to keep themselves alive as 2 players. It's Raze that I've got my eyes on still from Vitality. He's gone so far. Come such a distance, Eren. Most likely the next solo to fall. Igor's has maxed out.
अभी आवाज एकदम बराबर रहेगी.
Close to Doc for Furia. That could be a dangerous spot if they're caught unawares. Oh, he's hopped out as well. Doc might just be able to get away with a free elim here. There's a nade in his hand. This is not where you want to be for Igor's.
आवाज आ रही ना?
If he doesn't get out of the way, this might just be a free knock, but he's into the vehicle again. And I think he's read into it. He's up into the wall now. Doc has to hold his little chest out in the open.
From the talent sound, I'm getting the game sound. If I just use the talent sound, I'm getting this game sound. Yeah.
Just waiting for this fight
Yeah.
to happen.
One more thing,
These
one
guys
more
are
thing.
going to wait up to the last second here. The zone is...
Oh no.
How do I increase this sound
Jiggle.
only for myself
Backing things
in my
up.
ear,
Oh, and he
but
goes
not for the
right into
audience?
Raze. Gonna have to make a play.
This one, right?
Great headshot,
This is only for
but
my ears,
Sleepy.
not for the
Great
audience.
Teamwork
Okay.
there to be able to shut him down.
Thank you.
It felt like that was the opportunity there. Jiggle stalling on the buggy slip, but just didn't quite finish off that.
पूरा मसला एकदम गरम हो गया boys.
Of course, they did know he was there. As I was saying earlier, after losing a player to him was good news. Oh, another solo goes down. That will be...
All set, let's go. WEWC. तुरंत आके सही कर दिया, हो गया अभी. We are back. Caster's voice आएगी, सब आएगा. अब यहाँ से हम officially हमारा day 2 of EWC चालू करेंगे, जो कि अगला round होने वाला है. Day 1 खत्म हो गया. Godlike का ये मैच थोड़ा खराब गया, but OG के लिए गेम बहुत अच्छा गया.
Literally, all these teams desperately need this game. Gonna be big points regardless.
Let's go, boys.
You can see right now, yeah, 8th place, 11th place, 12th place. It's gonna help them out big time. Let's see what No Fear can do with that high ground. This is stage 8, folks. The zone will be closing into nothing. Once that zone pops, Sleepy applying that pressure on S2G. He's got the intel now.
अभी Caster की आवाज आ रही ना?
Nades. Gonna go ahead and use that high ground to try and get the shots, but oh, some big shots on Aura. That's No Fear eliminated. That angle being gone is critical.
A really nice pick up there over onto the high ground, as well as Jiggle going down. Leaves Aura now just on the one player alive. Furia want to regroup. And the descent comes through from the last remaining player for Horace, Sleepy, who has broadside on Lost, but he's not taking the shots just yet. I think Lost spotted him just before he ducked behind the ridge. And he has to drop down a little bit further to be a bit
अब तो Caster's की आवाज तुमको आ रही रहेंगी proper.
Gets a headshot, but doesn't quite get that full-blown knock just yet. And then they roll.
A little while, and it happened to be just 2 matches here into day number 2. So Furia get the win. and the crowd is pumped up for their team here. A huge, huge win for the side of Brazil.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. I think it was 9 elims towards the end, something in that region. It's a massive jump for them, as we talked about, on these longer game sets. 18 matches, a game like that can really give you the foundation that you need to jump up to be in contest. With E-Arena going down fairly early, with Enigma Galaxy going down fairly early, a couple of elims on side for these teams, but that is going to put a dent in the gap, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. Keeping that mindset on side of every single game, the points we profit, that is one step closer to the title.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is right there. Nice play though from Sleepy to be able to get that 1v2 on S2G, gets a couple more points on the board and some extra placement points as well. But you know what? The board is gonna be, the leaderboard gonna be balanced out a little bit right now, because like you mentioned, top teams go out, teams in that mid pack start moving their way up. But I think that inequality is going to be coming right back, because guess where we're headed now?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a little bit toasty over on Rondo next, which is very, very exciting stuff. We've already seen, what was it, 2 1v4s, at least 1 1v3, a couple more. Why not throw them in there? It's basically just what happens at this stage. But yeah, I mean, the Razy solo 1v3 on the north side there, beautiful. The impact he had also cannot be ignored. If 4 players were alive for Hore in those final circles, I think they win that.
Yeah.
Without Razy having that impact, it completely changes the dynamic. It allows Furia to be so much more free and easy on that western side. The suppressive force of Hore on that north edge is so much assuaged. So I think that is a very, very important part of that last game that maybe flew under the radar for a couple people.
Yeah, you got to be hyped up for Razy. 1v3, then finish it with a 1v2. And you guys got a 1v1 and watch the rest of these matches coming up in just a bit.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better you right, my champion.
What's happening, everybody? Jackie Powers here, joined by 2 absolute legends of the Sidemen. We got Ethan and Toby in the building, just arrived in France. You enjoying your time at PMWC here at EWC, boys?
Absolutely. It's my 3rd year on the trot coming to this, so yeah, really excited to see what today's got on offer. First time here in France, so actually really excited.
What, just generally first time?
No, not generally, but this in France. Normally it's like in Saudi, but here in France, it's exciting.
You enjoying it though? Getting on with the vibes? Bit different, right?
Yeah, we got in early on the train this morning, so took a little bit of waking up, but I think we're into the swing of things now.
You always look fresh, both you do. You come out giving it. You got the style on the go, so I can't complain, boys. But there you go.
You're showing us up. Yeah, can we get a fit check, please? Fit check.
Great.
You look unreal. The turtleneck, he looks amazing. The watch strap, look. Wow.
That's what we do. That's what we do at PUBG Mobile. We've got a bit of a different vibe on the go. I know you love a bit of PUBG Mobile yourself, but you've been enjoying the chicken dinners? Caught any of the glimpses of the games?
I haven't caught any glimpses just yet, but they're going crazy as we speak. We've got a little glimpse of a screen up there, and I can't wait to watch some of it.
It's going to be big. I think we've had a lot of interaction from the fans this event, which has been cool. A lot of different nations. It's been super loud. We've had drummers. We've had like cymbals. Mate, I've seen instruments I've never seen before.
I thought it was a football game. I heard it. It was crazy. I can't believe there's drums at an esports event. It's unreal.
They've kind of been getting sick with it too. One of our commentator talent basically used to be a drummer.
Oh,
so he's been sat there every game, mate. He's watching in the background. I just want to get involved. I want to teach him a new
He's loving it. He's loving it.
You any good on the instruments yourself, pal?
Me, no. So Jizzle, however, he has an own producer back in his day, you know.
I dabble. Hey, we got to get you in there. We could cook something spicy up with the fans.
No. It's been a long time.
EWC anthem? Come on.
I don't quite have the same rhythm as I used to, you know.
It could be a nice tie-in. We'll get that in for the next charity match, no?
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. That would be sick. Look, it's going to be a good time. We've got about, all of today, so about 6 games overall today, and then tomorrow we go into the final finals, last 6 games. We got some big orgs here, boys. Couple big names. Got like 4 Thrives. They're coming out. Okay. Vitality, legendary esports orgs, right? Orangutan as well. They've come in bossing it.
Orangutan all the way. Come on, orangutans. Listen, this ginger bearded beast.
My orangutan.
Yeah, come on. Go on, the orangutans.
Oh, mate. I hope they do you justice.
Yeah,
they've been looking good, honestly.
They've been looking good.
So we're saying orangutan.
Go orangutans. Let's go.
All right, let's see what happens, boys. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure, mate.
Final words before we send this one back?
Up the EWC, up the PUBG Mobile. Bosh.
We'll see you later, guys.
Thank you, Jackie. And I agree, Jackie. You look good today. You look good every single day. And so do we. Joined by Lace, Calaris, Natura, and once again, the 7WG. But we got to talk about Furia, that last match. The Brazilian aggressiveness was there, and boy, did they show it.
Didn't they just? I'm so excited. Furia's back. Let's all jump. No, but he's just gone. Okay, my show now. Furia, right? Furia was on top of it. I really enjoyed how they were actually able to play that so well, right? You've got the duo of Ayala. There we go, I got it. Yeah. Ayala and Silence, both of them just coming in onto that third party against Nongshim, then over onto EA, just wiped them completely, no point about it. The 2-2 split coming up onto the western side, making sure that Furia couldn't, making sure that S2G couldn't go around to the south side, but also pressuring Hora to actually push into S2G at the same time. Very well played. Good control of the teams, good control of the zone, and the timing was really good. They backed it up with firepower as well. You're seeing 9 eliminations. 19-point game is exactly what they needed.
I just absolutely love the fact that they sort of, like you were saying, they had that sort of western side of the mountain. Hora had such a great setup though, right?
Yes.
So I was getting a little bit scared in the I guess final moments because that zone closing in pushes them off the mountain. But Highguard's just down there scouting for the entire team, able to get that little 1v1 out of the way, and then having that sight so that when they obviously descent down the mountain, Sleepy comes down the mountain further through this and just cleans it up easily. Their timing today, Neptura, why are we Furia fans? Still backing you up. That was just such a smooth play from them, and when we're used to just seeing them get in a vehicle, charge down, whatever, this is more strategic and smart from them. Very exciting.
I was scared for Furia, though. I thought we were going to see some drive-bys that we ended up seeing from them yesterday that ended up backfiring. But for Hora Esports, I got to give them even more props, Scale, because they had a 3-1 split on that mountain that ended up working out perfect, especially when the circle didn't go their way.
There's multiple facets to it, right? Hora, when it comes to them controlling that kind of mountain, La Cabrera is somewhere they oftentimes go to. They've actually abandoned that and gone to Valdemar on most of these Miramars. They had to abandon their loot phase quite early to make that extreme wide rotate based on those sort of full shifts that were going north to get onto that mountain fast. And I think they really understood how to hold down on that location well, to the point where they were having to deal with certain circumstances that they didn't want to have to, like trying to cordon off Ulf as they're trying to move forwards as well. So very impressive game here by Hora, absolutely.
It is. S2G as well being able to collect some points in this last match too. And one team that was able to collect even more points that definitely needs them, Orangutan. Collecting 7 eliminations. It's something that we've been wanting to see out of this squad, being able to frag out a little bit more. I know yesterday we saw the passiveness out of OG that we're so used to seeing, but being able to just bounce back. And it's actually not Aru by himself. It's Atanki coming out with 3 eliminations.
I mean, it's great. I mean, I think in the group stage we saw more from WizGod than from Atanki, but he's coming in really nice. Ara, the IGL, also stepping up as a fragger as well, which is really nice to see. So very excited to see. Oh, sorry, very excited to see what we're going to be looking at into the next Rondo, for instance, right? Getting that momentum on the Miramar is like 7 eliminations on a Miramar already. What's Rondo going to be holding in store for them?
Feels weird that we're doing Rondo, not at the start of the day.
It does, doesn't it?
But anyway.
It's like, okay, well, mid-game, mid-day.
Mid-Rondo.
Mid-Rondo. It's a mid-Rondo.
You know what it reminds me? I said it earlier and I'll say it again. It reminds me when we used to have Sandhog at the halfway point.
Oh, yeah.
Where teams that weren't performing well, that would kind of use Sandhog to just spark up their day. But talking about Rondo, let's look at the top teams right now from Rondo. You got Enigma Galaxy up there. Aurora Gaming so far really hasn't had the best start to the day, especially when we're looking at the Miramars. But going into Rondo, we saw what they were able to do yesterday, and I'm hoping that Aurora is going to be bouncing back here.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, right? I actually do think that there's definitely been lulls in some of the performances internationally as well, and obviously this team for a long time, when we were at Alpha Gaming, etc., and things like that, everyone was hoping that eventually they'd hit it big, eventually be able to get one of those big titles. Actually, coming into that day one, I thought to myself, wait a minute, is this the time? Is this the time Aurora Gaming actually finally makes it happen? Because they were able to be up towards the top. They've slipped a little bit, especially with the arena looking as well as they have done so far. But there's still a chance. There's still hope.
Yeah, for Aurora right now, 34-point gap. So I am hoping that we're going to be seeing some insane gameplay out of them, especially going into Rondo. We have seen E-Arena put up 29 eliminations. Can anybody get even close? We saw the aggressiveness out of Furia with the third parties too, but we got to talk about Enigma Galaxy been performing well as well. And what I really enjoy about Enigma Galaxy so far is the way that they've been getting those placement points outside of their win. You can see them being able to be consistent.
Exactly. They've got 14 placement points outside of that win. So they are really making sure they hit that podium time and time again, backing it up with eliminations. And again, this is something that I saw yesterday from Enigma Galaxy, is their timing is on point. Coops is back in his prime, it feels like, and the whole team is rallying around that. So the timing is really good. The synergy is very good. They're holding, they're waiting, they're making other teams play for them instead of doing all the dirty work themselves. It's a really, really nice control play that we're seeing from Enigma, and it's working out beautifully.
I mean, I just want to quickly touch on Ulf because we were a little bit worried about them at the start. We're like, what kind of plan do they have going forward? It's good, it's wins, it's that, it's not, it's dropping. That one, the vehicle sent. They're actually in like a 2-2 split hold, and they were like, what do we do? Let's take the vehicle. Let's wedge Tiamba up against that and able to sort of decimate that entire squad. Obviously, the rest of the team sort of joined in that position, but look, they're making split decisions quickly.
Galaxy A57 and A37 5G, starting at just ₹50 per day. Best time to buy is now.
Navigate options with ease. Customize your option chains. Explore options using index chart.
Capitalize here in Rondo as well when we're talking about eliminations. It's going to be none other than Tiamba. Tiamba has been quite slow today. We've seen them just going down that ranking, and it's a team that needs to be able to bounce back because guess what?
ये चालू होने वाला राउंड जल्दी चालू कर रहे, मेरे को लगा ब्रेक देंगे अच्छा खासा. Let's go boys. Crucial game. Crucial game.
Yeah, Milu and QZZ have looked fantastic throughout the entire tournament, right? And Milu really rose to the occasion after QZZ. Get back to fragging power, fragging potential that we've seen from them in the past.
I'm just looking at Coops right now. He's locked in. Raouf just going around, circling his chair. Satan as well. But Coops, it's all about Coops right now. Hopefully somebody else will be able to step it up from that team as we're going to be going into Rondo. So Hot Jukes, John Allen, take it away. Where's Satan looking at?
Here we go. We're headed into Rondo, the match to put some massive points on the board. As if Miramar wasn't crazy enough already, it's about to get even crazier.
Maybe it's just something about the start of the day, Jukes. Maybe it wasn't Rondo all along. It was just the first games. Maybe this will be the calmest Rondo we've ever seen.
They brought that Rondo energy off the rip, right?
Yeah, they're used to it. Fresh off the breakfast, ready to find their dinner. And that is what we're going to be looking to find here for one of our teams. It will be the case. Maybe a massive early game. We saw it from Milu yesterday, huge, and the rest of Tiamba as well. Huge start to the day yesterday. Not quite as powerful in the game so far today. So hopefully for Tiamba, they can find that resurgence here. And if you're an arena fan, you're hoping that they can continue to make their strides forwards and keep that White Rabbit chase going.
Gotta be able to separate yourself from the rest of this lobby, and if you're gonna do it anywhere, it's Rondo, that's for sure. I mean, we've seen a 39-point game in this tournament. Oh man, will that turn things around from. Look at Team Vitality though, averaging, 4.33 limbs per game, 1,000 damage. It's a great average here. The thing is if you want to win that $500,000 at first place, become the champions, you got to do something special consistently. So I'm interested to see, right, how these teams are going to fare now that we're playing Rondo for the third match of the day, right? Are they going to be able to keep that aggression up throughout the entire day here? And who's going to be the kings of Neox Factory?
Oh, could be. Or, indeed, somewhere else. Flame Path decides. So we don't want to be going to Neox Factory. In general, when you're talking about podium competitors, you're talking about teams who are looking to get about 10 points average. 10 to 12 points average tends to be where we see at the end of these game sets a first place type scoreline being. That generally is a great indicator that you're performing at the level that's needed to rise above the rest. So hopefully our teams will be able to keep that on side, and being able to get, as we were seeing, sort of mid 4 elims average, being able to complement that with placement points is very, very important. There are a couple, I think, of teams who have a distinctly higher average on those elims than others, but it is definitely something that you need to be focusing on to join up at that 10-point average, because right now I think quite a lot of our teams are falling short of that metric.
That's a fact here. If you want to be able to get in that metric, though, this is the place to do it. You can see these players are locked in, they're focused. They understand what's at stake here, just how important Rondo is for your total tally. We only play it 3 times in this whole finals here. And this being the second one.
6.3.
Yeah, 6.3 average from Tianba, man. This squad have been really, really consistent here. A night and day difference from their group stage performance. And this is the Tianba that we know and love. We expected them to do very, very well here. And it's only a matter of time. I think they get that right position going, and then we see them get that chicken dinner.
I mean, we want that survival stage, Tianba, right?
Yeah.
To be able to jump up and compete with the very, very best. Furia, fresh off of their chicken dinner, their numbers don't quite display that sort of a storyline just yet, but it is a great start for them to be able to add that one to their tally. And again, it's a real great mental boon to these teams to be able to find a high-scoring game and to be able to close out that game. Sure, maybe the point swing isn't huge depending on how many seconds into those final circles you last, but I feel like there is nothing more relieving than finding that chicken dinner, than converting it. Even if you ignore the 4 extra points you get just on placements alone, it is a massive mental fortitude booster. And you need to keep your head on straight, because you are going to get into something crazy very early on. I know it, I love it, it's Rondo and it's ready.
It's ready, these players are hyped up, they're ready to go. I hope y'all guys at home are ready as well, because man, this is just getting started. As the plane is taking off, we're headed to Rondo. Oh, okay, we got a little double plane path action here.
Okay, so Neox Factory is accessible from the easternmost plane path, and to be fair, from the west one, but it's unlikely you want to go there because the teams in the east plane will hit the ground so much faster than you. It's much more likely if you're going to hot drop, you go to Yulin, and the same is true vice versa, right? Yulin is further along that plane path. What this is going to do is split these hot drops up. It's going to make them slightly less chaotic, Jukes, but more teams may want to go for them because of that.
Yeah, and those teams that normally like to go to Neox Factory, if you're in that other plane, you're going to be there late, so that's going to put you so far behind. So teams are going to have to adapt on the fly, switch drop locations, and make these decisions very, very quickly here. And you can see, these squads are out. Top players right now. Scarface from Ulp, okay, 16 eliminations. Mormon right behind him, and of course, Milu right there as well.
Yeah, Scarface on those damage numbers as well, right on the heels of Milu. Look at that, only 20 damage points behind. We'll see if that changes very quickly into this match, because teams are now starting to touch down in towards Neox Factory. They'll be grabbing those weapons. Yulin also will now be occupied, and things are going to get hairy quite quickly. There's E-Arena already taking a knock. Tianba as well have already lost one. E-Arena, by the way, generally preferring to drop out near Stadium, but the plane path they're on didn't assist with that. We saw them hunting down solos in other matches, those solo outposts that are near those recall towers, which are a major feature in Rondo. They were the team to take that dynamically to that fight in a way that we haven't seen from many others. Oh no, S-Power goes down to a yard.
Not good. Schwepp's hurt. They're going to get caught by a beautiful angle from a cop. And that's what happens is that if you're just so used to dropping in one particular area, switching it up here, sometimes those little angles can catch you off guard. And OG putting in the work here. Gonna keep an eye there on the side of Wolf, who does see Aaron. Now we're gonna switch on over to another fight. Here comes Yuria. Applying that pressure to Aura. Sky bandaging here. Waiting to be able to find those angles. He's got some good weapons here, but Ayala gets caught.
A nade forces Sky to reposition away from the corner. Does take a little bit of damage, but that'll be okay. Remember, the recall towers here in Rondo allow teams to get their players back up and alive, so early fights are the norm. Silence rolling around the edge of this corner, trying to suppress Sleepy, but the UMP in hand gives him a little bit of confidence in the nade to back it up. Flings across his sightlines. No Fear does go down on a trade, and now Ayala's looking to break wide to change the tune of this fight, and looks for more with Chief at his back. Sky on a sliver of HP just about finds the retreat, but there's a re-engage around the corner.
Chief would have had that, but he ran out of ammunition. Now he's going to have to make a play. Ayala there with the assist, and great work for the side of Furia. They're going to go ahead and take out Aura, put some early points on the board, and they should be able to pick up Silence here. Now they're going to start laser focusing towards the side of Four Thrives. Four Thrives creeping in on this one. A little late to this third party, and now they're going to have to battle a pretty kitted and well set up Furia.
Four Thrives, they've got some loot on side as well, though not too many nades. In fact, no nades for T24. Neox Factory's been popping off as well. I think Ulf bore the brunt of a lot of damage pouring on their way. See some elims coming through from Orangutan. Doing bits, but ooh, okay. Ulf may have a little bit of vengeance here, as Eren is still in the firefight. Tianba with their position on the south edge. Spot Tizzy sending away, but Tizzy wants to re-engage on the door frame. It's not going to work out well for the first spray, but suppresses the angle. QCZ with the nade cooking. Drops around the corner, but Hyunbin evades the damage.
Motion Redford, super aggression here. Looking at some of the early eliminations. Hyunbin with the laydown, right on the open! Catches QZZ with the spray. Just keeps that suppressive fire on that window, catches him on the re-peek, and a great turnaround there. Two superstars battling it out. Now Tizzy, oh, look at that instant peek back. These angles, Hongship Redford so good at these CQC angles. Man, and Hyunbin putting in the work, forcing Tianba to have to do a full res on their team.
Getting those flushes nice and quickly. Nongshim Red Force with 2 elims. They're up to 4 now. But they've got another team to try and deal with. Orangutan sidling on into the fight. Tizzy using the bus's cover. There's an aid from a tanky, but the pin goes back in. And Eren, the solo left in the situation for Ulf, is going to find the backlines for Orangutan and slow their approach towards this Nongshim outpost. The 2 players they've got there can just live a little bit longer, but a tanky keeps the pressure up, and Orangutan keep marching.
Man, great movement from the side of Tizzy and Hyunbin. They are outplaying so many of these players here. So good at this urban fighting. Their peaks, their timing, just impeccable. Wizgod, though, with that nade, looks good. Tizzy jumps away and gets peppered only a little bit. Pulls the pin again. And you can see they're utilizing those doors so well. But how about that nade? That one looks good.
Ooh.
Tizzy jumps away from it once again. He's not falling for that one.
I like the attempted utilization of the smoke to stop the vision on the nade arc as it was coming on through. But Tizzy read that one nicely. Knew exactly what they were going for. That nade doesn't connect either. Still has a couple more. The shotgun around the corner. Steps in for it. Wins the trade. And immediately Eren snaffles that point away for Ulf. He's up to 3 elims there on the inside. This guy's doing bits. The rest of Ulf are happy to hang out near Dungeon on that south side and let Eren roar over in Neox Factory, because it still has yet to conclude. Aurora, I think, still have a solo in that spot as well. And Eren does finally go down to Godlike, who have rolled up into the fight in Neox Factory. A late approach as they were forced away over towards main round.
You can see T24 trying to find some angles here. Zypha, ooh, quick shotgun here. He's got the right-hand priority. He should win this. He does. Catches Ayala. And now, shots happening back and forth all over the place here. But Zypha's gonna have to make another play, but suppressive fire. Was that IQ? Yeah, IQ on the other angle, doing a great job of applying that pressure, that headshot. It's gonna be the end of Furia.
Furia, though, well, in this location.
That's correct, yes.
Igor's on that south side, very far away from Yulin right now, means that they can get that full reset. The recall towers are still available, and at the moment, only one player is completely down. I think that's about to change as well, as Admino gets back to his feet. Aurora with top. The man on the spot only needs the one shot to take down Salme, and now he wants more. There's Power with the nade, can't quite connect on towards top, but he spots him running up, has the nade cooking. This could be perfect, needs it over the top, a lot of damage, and the spray doesn't convert. That is good for Godlike.
Great work from S-Power there, right? Just staying calm, collected. He had that nade locked and loaded, just goes, chunks it, and just uses his weapon to take down top. So we're gonna see some recall action happening. Everybody pretty much back up for the most part. Only a few players still eliminated. And now you know what? Why don't you guys do us a favor? Get in game and go ahead and pop some of the lucky spins right now. Hopefully you can get one of those exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament sets. So you can be styling and looking good like a lot of these players are. Let's see how S-Power's gonna look though in this 1v1 against a Tinky. It is India on India action here. That's that Molotov. Oh yeah, he's like, all right, I'll hold the stairs for a little longer.
Hot foot away from that, doesn't take a tickle, which is a good result. Southeast shift on this next circle. Pushes us down towards the southeast side. Keeps that northern area above Hongshan in the west of Danqing as well. Ulf, very happy about this. I think their hill there is probably going to play quite well for them, I think, Jukes, and that is a great result for them, given that they're in third place right now. E-Arena in first place. They haven't had an impact on this game so far. They were pushed away very, very quickly. There's that Power. Holds the corner, but yeah, there's a third-party angle. A second player on the opposing team angle coming on through. That should be, again, still recallable. Manya may opt to go for the recall on the forward position so that he can bolster that and let the back two from Godlike move in behind him.
Yeah, S-Power's like, 1v1 me, bro. And they're like, nah, not today. There's money on the line here. We gotta make this happen. Now looking on over the rest of the fight though, we got Vitality, end up holding a building here. They're gonna be popping some shots on over to Enigma Galaxy. Satan trying to drive away, trying to be able to survive here. Lowered the same position. Enigma Galaxy on the full rotation. And Satan does end up getting caught and eliminated.
Very messy now on the western side of this circle. A lot of teams forced into a fight that is unfavorable for a rotation that leaves them exposed. We're seeing the results of that now. The recall tower on the south side of the circle, currently under control of Nongshim Red Force. Looks like Godlike may have their forward position on one recall as well, I believe. So they could look for that. Actually, it might be E-Arena who have got control of it out on the east side. In the meantime, 4 Thrives, with their 3 elims so far, have a position near Yulin.
You can see these teams just starting to get set up here, getting ready for that late game. This is so critical. This is the map to put some points on the board. OG have 5 eliminations. Aurora have 5 as well. So a great start for a few of these teams. Now it's about how you're going to end. I think the Galaxy down Satan on that rotate. They do end up finding a spot in this next zone. Pretty central one too, just a little bit on the southern side of it. But we never know where this next circle is going to go.
I mean, Ulf really have got a brilliant position here. They've had a while to establish it as well. On the hilltop that they have so much control over the surrounding area. They have vision every single direction. Everybody else just trying to play in their shadow at the moment. E-Arena have managed to push in from the east side. And 4 Thrives continuing their hold on the southeast point of Yulin. Doing a little bit against Alula. Godlike suffering once more at the hands of Orangutan. And E-Arena are actually pushing up to try and third party split that fight on the north edge and maybe hound down Godlike.
Godlike trying to hold up here. Southern shift. Yeah, indeed for a lot of these teams. S2G, 4 Thrives, E-Arena, not liking that one. Now there's Godlike. But Fudia, they'll take that all day long. Possibly even looking for a back-to-back chicken dinner here. As Aurora, though, that's going to be the team they're going to have to fight because Aurora's going to be pressing into that hard shift side location. Tianba, QZZ knocked. Doing a great job of being able to throw down those smokes very, very quickly here to try to pick up their superstar player. Coach trying to catch some shots into those smokes. But he's going to go ahead and just hold on to that coverage for just a little while longer.
Just a moment longer. Right now, I think that, yeah, we've only seen 3 players really fully confirmed to not be really in with much chance of moving forwards. A lot of recalls coming on through, almost everyone in the lobby getting back to their feet. Damage going over towards S2G from Coop, but not quite fully connecting.
He's locked in today, man. I mean, those shots were on point. He was hitting them for the little slight angle that he had. He was getting serious value. You know, Tianba's locked in as well. They're just trying to get themselves in a good, solid position. They're in 4th place, 48 points. Not a bad start. But E-Arena with 75, they're the big threat in this lobby. The Thai squad looking really solid here in the Rondo. 1 elimination, the whole team up. They do have a position on the eastern side of the circle. Aurora right on top of them, though. Let's see what they decide to do here.
I mean, they are certainly alive on this side of the circle, but between Aurora and Ulf, it is a difficult position to try and hold down. And can they get much further forwards? I'm not entirely sure. Schweppes. Oh dear, the flames already licking the front of the bonnet there. And that is going to be an unhealthy vehicle. Not really too reliable when it comes to moving next. But they are safe for the time being next to these 2 teams. I'm looking at Orangutan and 4 Thrives on that north side. Could be a contest around the mountain that sits between them. Godlike, I think, are going to have a difficult time moving in as well. Either they could swing out into the blue zone very, very quickly now and try and rejoin Rita. But if you do, you're basically committing to going down in the next zone. Yeah. It's just not going to work out.
Yeah, for sure. And EDA need to have a monster Rondo here if they want to be able to get themselves into serious money. Enigma Galaxy, meanwhile, 2nd place, down a player. Lord going to be using some of that terraforming to put himself into a safe position. This is still super early. I mean, that's just Rondo. Rondo starts off so aggressive, starts to slow down here in the mid-game as teams solidify their locations. And then it's going to get red hot here in just a minute. Let's see where this circle goes. We're going to see a crazy Southern hardship again. Will it center up? That's going to be huge for these teams. And it does favor the south side a little bit.
Okay, I mean, for Aura, this is great news for them. Their west side is fairly free and clear. Ida do opt to regroup on the south side, which I'm not entirely sure about. I feel like that may be a misplay for them. A very difficult approach from that angle. S2G trying to make the approach that is probably in Ida's future. Finding out how difficult it can be. Furia extracting a toll for it. But they do crash in. They do get to the center of this one. Actually, may be able to get control of this recall tower that's available for about another minute or so. If they can get control of it, get that recall in fast, they could be in with a full force squad on this location. And I think they know the jiggle's here, but they don't have a lot of time to play around with. It's really ticking away, and a bounce on the nade's not good.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a self-nade there. I don't know if you saw that chain link fence at the top of it. Great nades, though, from Nongshim Red Force. Oh, it doesn't hit the mark, though. I thought that was good. And they're going to be sharing this location now with E-Arena. This is pretty darn central. So I'm surprised they're really battling this out. It's a dangerous fight, honestly. Like, if they take this fight, they're going to get third party.
I mean, all the fights now in the middle are dangerous. Godlike on the south side.
What happened?
Ooh, I think a vehicle explosion there came on through.
Was
took
that
Tandy K down? No, it wasn't a self-drop, don't worry. I would have clocked that one. It was an explosion that came through. The nade just falls short of the deployable cover. They continue to not quite find the mark for for Nongshim Red Force. They aren't quite connecting here. Not quite getting what they want to get done. Orangutan try and crash into the middle against S2G. It's looking to go pretty well for Orangutan, actually, as S2G are going to go down fully. These recall towers are pretty much done and dusted. Only a couple more seconds to get them used.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to be able to use it here at this late stage. especially if you already burned a lot of your recalls earlier on. And let's see right now as Razy is able to get a nice knock there on the tops with a nade. Another one in return as Bose catches Federalis. And now here comes Win in the vehicle. Possibly just trying to get some information. He gets some for sure. Pops out. Oh, that did sting.
Okay.
Razak though got the shotgun S12K. Oh, gets knocked. And Team Flash put in the work here on Vitality.
Hey, we know what Razy can do, but he's not going to do it this time around. Vitality go down. Flash playing on with 3. The recall towers are now shut down, which means that every elim will stick. There are no recalls available. The arena somehow managed to get straight to the center of this circle is kind of crazy, and to do so with 4 players alive, great news. Hopefully they can make that one work. Meanwhile, on the south side, you've got Godlike, Ita, and Furia all looking for position. Yeah, this is a replay, I think, on how Teddy K went down.
Yeah,
he ran into the buggy. He ran into the buggy.
Yeah, well, it was that cover flare that ended up busting up that buggy, and it was just inching it little by little and just did enough damage to pop it. So you gotta watch out where you drop those cover flares.
Hey, no harm, no foul. They're all alive, and that's what matters right now. Nade over the top, over towards Nigma Galaxy, though, from Tianba, who have had to fight down from this north side of their compound. Nigma Galaxy have been hiding here for quite a while, and Tianba seemed to be an overwhelming force for them. Ralph alone, isolated away from the rest of the team. Ulf have been trying to push in from the east side, and somehow Scarface doesn't go down here. Finally does get knocked to QZZ. There is an answer, a little bit of damage, and his 4 Thrives chiming in for a third party from the west side.
QZZ getting caught out by Ulf. And now Milo getting shot in his back from 4 Thrives. Yamba now are fully pinched. You got 4 Thrives looking at one side, Ulf looking on the other, and this is all outside of the circle. Disaster here for Tianba, who are looking so strong in this game. Gonna have to fight their way out of this position.
A lot of movement now necessary on the northeast side as well as on this south edge, and this is what I was worried about for Ida. They managed to get a couple of elims on the angle, but they trapped themselves behind the water. Wrapping around that one, it takes so much wind out of your sails. You just don't continue that speed. You don't carry any momentum in towards the circle. And they found out all about it. Furia were a roadblock for them, and they may have dragged Furia down with them, but for Emre, he's now got so much to do, and he's going to crash probably straight onto Aura, and almost certainly going to go down here. I'm so surprised he hasn't already fallen, and Emre just sneaking his way through.
Tianba on the drive-in now. Gonna have to force to just fully send it onto the middle, but they are getting beat up here. Sacrificing players one by one. Milu, with a bad drive. And now it's up to the single player. Oh, he does end up catching 1 point. So Tianba hold on just for a little while longer.
Staying alive, staying in the thick of things. The arena unlikely to be able to push fully up and over with Ult suppressing this angle. Akin can survive for just a while longer. And Ult are going to have a tough time actually pushing towards this one with the suppressive fire coming in, but Akin does go down. That actually comes from Furia. Very long shot down from the south side. Close to max range, I believe. Yeah, 393 meters there, Ayala.
Ayala and Furia are putting in work here. 10 points on the board so far. Right behind him is OG with 8. They definitely needed those points. And here comes Furia, pressing in through the south side, moving in little by little, making sure that there ain't nobody near them.
Aurora with the western high ground as well, this mountain, giving them a lot to work with. The position held previously by Aura, but they decided to commit instead much more central onto the west point of the compound that sits central on this circle.
It's gonna be a big game for
Aurora this position. I mean, it absolutely could be, given their position with 8 elims. They've got some oversight. Not too many teams have the flexibility to challenge them. It is, of course, the Kiss Curse position, though, because you do have to leave it at some point. Well, almost certainly you're going to have to leave it at some point, and that is where things start to get a little bit muddy.
If this zone shifts to Aurora, they're getting like 20 points this game. Plus, I mean, this is the spot to have. But it is quite on the edge here. Let's see if they end up getting lucky. This is the time to get lucky in the map that you really want to get lucky on, that's for sure. But meanwhile, Nongship Red Force catching Chief out from Furia.
Sneaking in. A shot in around the sides of those silos, through the fences. It is pretty resible, though, for Furia, I imagine. The circle does move away from Aurora, though, and up towards the north side. This is a lot of open ground that maybe 4 Thrives could try and leverage, but there's not a lot. for them to try and work with. You could see just sweeping out to the west is wide open. You're going to need those cover flares, so it depends how many they've got in the back pocket. Create some of your own defilades with that destructible terrain. It's what they're going to be needing to do to control that north side. In the meantime, Furia still giving it large on the south side.
Doc started to throw some nades in. They know they got to get moving here. They got those vehicles. They're smoking, though. Bose does go down. That's huge for the side of Aurora. And Doc trying to drive very carefully, little by little. Oh, saw that crate. I need that. I need that. I got 300 rounds. I need more. I need that util. And he's going to find at least another drink because he was out. Swaps vehicles, and now Aurora just trying to leapfrog into this next zone.
Last player of Orangutan goes down in the meantime. IQ gets spotted out in the open. I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? It's such a difficult area to try and move into. The question is timing, and for IQ, he gets caught a little bit too early. And there's really no cover. But it is such a priority on the circle. If you can establish any sort of position out there, you start to get so much control. And with Aurora still able to use the high ground that they've been playing from, they have great sight lines to control that. But Fourth Rise will be able to move in. Aurora are also going to have to move. Oh, beg your pardon. Have to move.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, though. This is Rondo, and if you don't got cover, you got to make your own. Use those cover flares. Use that terraforming and make it happen. You can see Ulf with a good, solid position that they've created for themselves. You got Aura on the other end trying to sneak some eliminations. No fear going to be laying down, trying to see if he can catch that pixel. He sees him. He sees him. Put some shots, but not able to get the knock.
Aurora rotating back in towards the compound, looking to extract more point value from these elims. Tourniquet will be spotted. Zjol rattles him down. And the rest of the team answering with a volley of fire. Emre, by the way, from Ida, still alive. A solo who managed to sneak his way on through. I imagine Aurora should be aware of this position. We'll see if they deal with it or if they allow him to sit there in their buffer zone.
Zjol just getting set up here. I like how he risks it and moved that vehicle just a little bit further so he can cover himself from that angle. The crowd is hyped, they're excited. The Furia fans are going nuts. They see their team with 11 eliminations so far. And there goes Aurora starting to throw some nades. They are in this next circle, so they're just holding the spot for now.
Just holding it down. Slowly marching forwards. Nongshim Red Force making it very difficult for them to move up and through this compound. If they can get a knock, if they can open a way, might be an opportunity for them. There's trades back and forth across every single angle. Nongshim also have spots on towards Hodret, who are trying to make their way up on the western edge. Oh, it's a nasty ascent up this hill. There is a complete broadside from Hyunbin. He's got that DP, a lot of ammo in the tank, and a big north shift comes through.
The circle goes up to the top and away from all of these teams. So all of them are going to have to start moving. Hyunbin, he realizes it. He's like, oh, we're in trouble. We need to just start getting some eliminations here because getting into this next circle is going to be almost impossible.
I'm looking at this circle. I feel like it's Aurora and Fourth Rise right now, who are, in some ways, stop each other from being the best in the circle and therefore allowing teams from the south to have an opportunity. If this fight concludes one way or the other, which I don't think it will, Dukes, not at the moment. It could be pretty tricky for everybody else to march forward, but it seems like they found some sort of peace between the two.
Yes, that's the right play in all honesty. You gotta just throw the smokes in between, but like, guys, let's look down south. Let's get all these eliminations, fight each other later for first and second place, because, oh, this is a feeding frenzy here on the south side, as all these teams are just desperate to try to find a spot into this next zone. Hyunbin up close and personal. He's got the shotgun. He can make the plays, and Nongshim Red Force are putting in the work up close and personal.
Take down E-Arena, the lobby leaders right now, only getting 2 elims there, no placements. A nice result for the teams looking to chase. Ulf, though, in a little bit of danger as they try and sweep up from the eastern side and crash into Fourth Rise, but with Cypher going down, with 2 players left, actually only 1 player left in action. It's only IQ up on the north side, and Furia, in the meantime, are sweeping up. over on the inside of the compound. Ayala on the corner does go down to Nongshim as they move out to the east. But Furia now, 12 elims. They're looking for more, and a solo from Jiggle, the only thing standing in their way of controlling the entirety of this compound.
Make that 13 eliminations. Furia on a tear. Jiggle up on top. Catches out the last player of Ida. Aurora, though, are just waiting for this. Gotta be a little bit careful with that cover flare. A little bit too close. Chief now forced to just run out the open. Jiggle with the jump down. Trying to make the play in the 1v2. It's Igor to shut him down.
Hey, that's so nasty, though, because it does mean that Igor is going to be alone, solo, and will not be able to weather the storm of bullets sent his way by Nongshim Red Force. Now out in the open, it's Aurora as we transition up to the north side. And 4 Thrives, I mean, they lost so much on that push forwards, and it's just IQ now. Cypher, I don't think you're getting back over to him, mate. And he does go down. IQ, a solo for 4 Thrives. 14 eliminations for Nongshim Red Force. 10 for Aurora.
Big game.
Is a big game any way you cut it.
And it's going to be one of these teams that's going to win it. Who's it going to be? It's Aurora versus Nongshim Red Force. Yol gets knocked. That could be the opening volley. But Nongshim Red Force just going to hold that angle. So easy, catches top as well. So just knock after knock, back and forth. That's going to really hurt the utility from both these teams. Reefus, level 2 vest, pretty beat up. Sees an angle though. Hits the headshot on the Tizzy and gets the knock.
How do you do it to him, Reefus? Goodness me. That is a beautiful start, and this is the open ground I was talking about before, Jukes. It's just so difficult. There is that sloping ridge in front of Nongshim as well, that means they really kind of only have one angle to go, and it is fully covered off by Aurora.
Yeah, it's because Aurora is shooting some dang laser beams here at the end. The tiniest pixels, nothing but headshots. Nongshim Red Force, we know they got the gun skill to pay the bills though. Gonna have to battle it out with Aurora because Aurora are on fire right now. Now they have the number as well, top with 5, and look at that. Nongshim Red Force, they're just stuck. They're in this one spot. They are laid down, but Hyunbin evens out the battle with that huge knock on the Zeal. Perfect timing.
And it's a forward position as well, which means that in order to get them back up, they need to break forwards. For Aurora, they need to expose themselves. That makes it more likely. We're in a 3v3 clean. Hyunbin suppressing the corner of the rock there, looking to try and put them back behind it. And he will bury them behind it. As Doc is taken down on the angle. That is Resable, but it's going to allow them to move forwards incrementally, making their way, making their approach here. Reefus doesn't dare step up.
Hyunbin is just an absolute beast with these laydown plays. Putting in the work, catching top. Hyunbin is on fire. Making it happen for his... Applies that suppressive fire on Reefus. Reefus cannot afford to get knocked here. If he does, he's gone.
He's got the MG3 from the crate, though. Is it going to be enough? A lot of damage done to him. Zeol's been slowly bleeding out. There has been reses coming through, or attempted to come through from Aurora. And they do manage to pick all 3 of their players back up on the forward front. Zeol finally flushed. Reefus dying left and right with the MG3 barking loudly across the open ground, but he's not going to be enough. It's going to be the knock sent his way. And Nongshim Red Force are giving this an excellent go. Moving forwards, they make it to the rock, and they are just out of range. The nade goes forwards. Only Top remains in the way, and the Molotov burns him. Takes him down.
Nongshim Red Force turning the tables on Aurora. Aurora was looking unstoppable, and then Hyunbin said, "Oh, you think you got it, huh? Nah, we got this."
Clean execution at the end from Nongshim Red Force. A brilliant exit from that location. It got so messy around those silos, those compounds, really, really tricky, and it's got to be so disappointing for Aurora as well.
Those.
You shouldn't be losing those, no. It is really, really tough stuff. But the open ground was so difficult to get in and towards, with 4 Thrives being in the way for Aurora. If they'd have been able to deal with that a little bit earlier, maybe they could have had more presence there and stopped Nongshim Red Force from getting as far as they did. But a brilliant oversight on the compound for Nongshim Red Force. The South Korean side managed to navigate that one.
I mean, that's as fair as a fight as it gets here, folks. I mean, I think out of all the fights I've ever seen Aurora lose, I think that is the most frustrating one for them, because they know we just got outgun skilled. Us? Aurora? The Mongolian super squad? What happened? Hyunbin with those laydowns. making the plays, the pop-off, absolutely well-deserved. I mean, that was just disgusting.
Locking it in with the daps. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be pumped when you get those chicken dinners on side. And on Rondo, no less, with a big elim count. That is a breath of fresh air for Nongshim Red Force, hoping to get another global level title as well to convert from their recent win.
Sneaky. I mean, Nongshim Red Force, when they won PMMI, they weren't on top of the leaderboards until literally the last game, right? They stole that tournament. And now in this Rondo, with that many points, ooh, these leaderboards are gonna look dangerous.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Remember, E-Arena, Nick the Galaxy, again, going down a little bit earlier. That's gonna close the gaps once more, and teams can start to catch up. It is looking level. And again, it's that marathon style that we've got on today with the 8 matches from the delays that we had yesterday. The 8 matches today are going to test these teams' endurance.
We still got so many games left.
I'm so excited.
This is just Rondo. We got 3 more Air Gales, 2 more Miramars. How's Aurora gonna roar back though? That's gonna be my question. You know, Doc, he did not like that one. They did not like that. Yeah, they were like, there's no way we get bad beat here. Hyunbin, though, I mean, using that terraforming, you can just see for everybody out here that wants to be a professional player, these are the guys you got to look at here because, you know, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Hyunbin, with those laydowns, applying those suppressive fires, predicting where they're going to pick those heads out, hit a few crucial knocks, and he won that for his team.
Absolutely, yeah, getting those picks, absolutely crucial, like you say. And it is a really interesting feature. I think it's probably, for me, the most interesting feature of Rondo is the impact of those, well, actually, maybe 2, but the impact of having destructible terrain, being able to carve out those little divots, those little defilades with explosives, as well as the deployable cover flares. I think those 2 features make Rondo so interesting in these late game stages.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for those 2 features, I don't think either team would have been able to make it towards the end there. There was so much open ground, but they had to close it down, and the team to do it was Nongshim Red Force. We'll see you in a few.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
Last year, 4 Thrives arrived at the PUBG Mobile World Cup with an entire country behind them. As the first Pakistani team to qualify for PMWC, reaching the world stage was already history. But once the matches began, they proved they had not traveled there just to participate.
He's found Mafioso, he's got the flash. As well. No, how can you do it to him? They want that first place, but you're gonna have to prize it from his cold, dead hands. Squashed with a chance now, and he's able to close it down.
4 Thrives finished second in the group stage, going directly into the Grand Finals, and eventually securing 7th place in the world.
Last year, PMWC taught us to be more aggressive and more consistent to win this championship.
Their journey began at the PMGO Season 1 South Asia Finals, where they handled the pressure of playing at home and claimed the regional championship.
Now sending shots around the corner, so much damage done, and it's ended. 4 Thrives get themselves a chicken dinner and secure an unbelievably good position.
That victory sent them to Jakarta for the PMGO Season 1 main event, where they would face teams from across the world. And on the opening day of the Grand Finals, 4 Thrives took complete control.
Possible, but IQ's down. A T24 with a 1 versus 1. Weapon swap with the shotgun around his teammate. He finds it! He gets it done! And 4 Thrives!
After 6 matches, they had collected 3 wins and 82 points, building a commanding lead at the top of the leaderboard.
After the 3 chickens on PMGO Finals Day 1, our confidence boosted a lot. Like, we didn't felt any pressure and we knew we are going to win because we had a big lead.
The second day brought a different challenge. Every team in the lobby was chasing them, and every mistake could reopen the championship race. They finished with 122 points, 77 eliminations, and 3 wins to become the PMGO Season 1 champions, securing their return to PMWC. Last year, they arrived as history makers. This year, they arrive as global champions.
Nothing has changed for us. Our hunger is still the same. Even you can say we are more hungry for this PMWC trophy. We are even more confident than before. We have more experience. We believe that we can be the team who can win the back-to-back global trophy.
4 Thrives have already shown that a Pakistani team can reach the world stage. Now, 4 Thrives head to the PMWC at EWC 26. Ready to prove that PMGO was not the end of their rise. It was only the beginning.
Hey, get us up on the left now!
Let's go. I'm nading it, okay? I'm nading
Nade on the Dacia, bro. He's low. I don't have nades. On Dacia is low. I can drop a C4, wait. He's low, headshot. Nice. Last one on me. Yes. Go, 2. Nice. Let's go. Get the loot. Go left, guys. Please, go left. One guy right, one guy left. Easy. They're 2 knock. Zone will kick them. My door watch. Let's go left. I'm running up.
Behind the tree.
Okay, I'm running up on him. Play time.
Behind the car. Kitleyim ben. Risk atmayacağım.
Kaçta atıyor galiba. Mermi çektim. Tarıyorum Cemal, full tarıyorum. Mermim yok ama.
Mermim kalmadı.
Lan gidin vurun, alana salacak. Nice oğlum. Nice.
เฮ้ยป่าตัวนึงป่าไหนดำไปนอนอยู่นอนสวยซ้ายเจมส์เล่นด้วยกันนะใจเย็นมองนี่คือเจ็บไปดีกว่าหลังต้นไม้เจ้ามาลูกกูสายกลางกดซ้ายกดขวาเฮียไม่วะ
This rondo would be the match to just kickstart a bunch of the teams that weren't performing well in this first 2 Miramars, and one of them being Aurora, showing Kalaris one of the biggest throws that we have seen. They look so good until the end.
Everything was lining up so well. They threaded the needle down on the south to be able to get between Godlike and Furier on that rotation. And I thought to myself, they're playing it fantastic. They're being able to hold a position, cautious of where Horror was, and then maybe flex out on that west side. But Max, the fight against Nongshim, who played an amazing game as well on the other side.
Like, you can't hate too much on it because, yeah, Nongshim Red Force had some insane shots. Hyunbin in particular, the way he was able to every time to allow his teammates to push forward and he would cover them, but he wouldn't just be cover fire. He would literally tear down every single player on Aurora Gaming. I think he knocked out top twice in that final fight.
I'm not happy about it.
I'm very happy about it. If Kalaris is angry, I'm having a good day. So, yeah, but like, as you said, it was great rotations overall from Aurora, but the gunplay, Nongshim Red Force, is what redeemed the game for South Korea.
And this is completely opposite from what we saw from Nongshim yesterday, right? Because we were talking about Hyunbin just being super aggro and going without his team and all of this, and he's done the complete opposite of that today here, going, I will support you guys. I'll be that support player. I'll be the fragger, but I will let you guys go first.
I mean, it wasn't just this final fight for Nongshim Red Force that looked amazing. It was the parking bay control, dealing with anybody coming from silos, fighting into the circles as well. This for Nongshim Red Force was a masterclass of control.
The fight with E-Arena especially.
Yeah, the thing is, that fight on E-Arena was executed so well, it was so snappy, so quick. But the fact that they survive that fight in the city, right, get outside the city, fight against the other teams that were 4 Thrives, then win the fight onto Aurora, all of that basically, while still keeping yourself up as a 4-man team is insanely impressive at this level of play.
I think there's very few teams that can make it look that good.
No, because, and this is the thing, is this is one of the teams that can go from 0 to 100, right? They were in that compound, they were there for a long time, they were just kind of keeping away from E-Arena here, and then they just unleashed the beast. I mean, look at these eliminations coming in from each of the players, so even across the board, and they just are able to just turn up the heat, go, okay, it's go time, and go for it.
Yeah, we usually talk about Hyunbin just being able to be the frag out power for this squad. TZ as well has been stepping up. It's good to see that all the players have been stepping up in this one. One of the biggest question marks that we have had for Nunchim, especially in this last 2 days, have been those placement points. And for them to finally get over that hump, getting that chicken dinner, considering that the Smash Roll is going to be in play tomorrow, this is going to make them really happy. I know you're really happy about it.
I'm loving it, seeing Hyunbin and the boys getting so many points on board. But before this game, right, the placement points were at an all-time low. We just didn't see very many late-game finishes from this team. But the fact is, and as we just saw on that graphic, right, they got eliminations on every single player. Very happy, but apparently, Eren is your MVP of the game, and he had some really good fights, one of those onto 4 Thrives. So good plays here from Eren that I didn't expect. I thought it would be definitely one play from Nocturne Red Force.
Well, Tizzy, the fact that he did 1,200 some damage from the parking bay. I mean, it's one of the highest spots in that circle, never mind the silos that exist there. So it's a great spot to be able to have those engagements from.
No, it was very good indeed. And mentioning Ulfred, because they were in an altercation with 4 Thrives, and looking at the circle, I was like, okay, well, Nongchen has everybody in town to deal with. You've got 4 Thrives having to deal with Ulf, and so Aurora were able to actually just have the complete west side kind of to themselves, get that long-range third party going, which is that's their MO, and that's probably why we saw them do so well. While they probably should have had that win, was they were long distance, they were able to have that long distance, put some distance between them and other teams. But for Nongshim, for them to actually third party over onto Ulf in the 4 Thrives fight, just as 4 Thrives were kind of getting cleared up, that is true. They do.
Ida has something personal with
do. It's so true. It's so true. But Nongshim really showcasing how great their timing is and how well they can actually read the lobby, what's going on around them, and take advantage of that.
One team that we've been following as well, especially today, that has been starting to kickstart it, is 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives, in this last match, they were controlling a lot of that north, but they were 2 split, even though they were man down. And this is something that we were harping on a lot yesterday from them, having unnecessary splits at times. They were being pinned down by Aurora, though.
They were being pinned down. It's a very difficult portion of zone. I don't think we've seen it be played that much, and so when it's so open like that, it is difficult to try and have the control that you really want. But yeah, there were some changes that could have been made to that.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that when you look at how Nongshim Red Force had to play it, in a very similar area, you see how flat that area is. You can't, there's a lot of times where people get stuck in urban endings and urban situations, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, that team on the outside is going to be able to hold them off. But you saw how flat it was. They couldn't put pressure onto anyone coming from their 4 Thrives. They were there in a good spot, but they were there too early.
Yeah, actually looking at another team I feel like did really well this game is actually Furia, right? Able to jump up here in 4th position, get himself a total of 60 points, 2 points behind the podium, held down by Enigma Galaxy. But this game, how they were able to do actually a big jump around the teams in the southern side against Godlike and also the side of Ida, and then getting in the city and sweeping teams. Sure, they don't get the win, but highly impressive from Furia. They feel like now are building up their momentum. They're a very streaky team, and now I feel like the podium is where they want to head towards next.
That's back-to-back games too for Furia, being able to just show that aggressiveness, getting those eliminations as well, maintaining themselves within the 4th place. Because one thing that we're kind of looking at is E-Arena starting to create a gap with some of those teams. That's something that 2nd place, especially of Esports, they had 2 outstanding mirror marks, and in this one we saw Eden being able to get the MVP.
I just want to bounce off what you said about Furia with the 2 good games, because I didn't like them moving into that silo location. I thought they could potentially backfill the west side after coming in super late on that south. But hey, they proved me wrong. I think that they really showed great presence of mind, great kind of space control when they were moving through, and were able to hit the gunfights well.
Yeah, it was very nice indeed. I was watching them kind of how they were moving, because some teams like Aurora, right, you have your position and you kind of just stay there. There's not too much movement going on. For Furia, they were in the middle of the silos, and yet they were always looking, always moving, always trying to figure out where the next play was going to be. So very mobile, very proactive thinking. You could tell from how these guys were moving. Yeah, just very proactive, and that's what you want to see in the middle of a city fight like that.
Yeah, we didn't see the second page there for a quick second, and I want to highlight one player from Godlike. Man, S-Power is putting up like so many great clutches. We had some clutches early on Miramar. He did it here on the hot drop right versus top. He was cooking the grenade, got the damage, forced to find CQC. I really do believe, and my favorite player from India, by the way, normally is legit But I've got to say, S Power is putting some global level
looks
fights
good.
here. He is looking highly impressive. And right now, I would say the best player in India by a significant margin.
Yeah, it's not even close, honestly, especially with S Power. Now all we need is to see what the non-sim players were able to do, which just wasn't just one player. We need all the players from Godlike being able to step it up. But as we're going to be heading into the first Erangel, let's send it over to Barney and Luti.
Luti, what an absolute treat today is.
I mean, 8 games. That's so many clips can happen today.
I know, 5 more maps to go,
Yeah,
so
it's
much
insane.
more PMWC action to come. But I tell you what,
Tell me.
we wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the fans, right?
Of course, they're coming from all over the world.
That's right, and we've got some right here in the Gadia City grid as well, so why don't we check in with them?
Okay.
Okay, you want to check in?
Yeah,
You
my
got that
side is better.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
all right,
I'm pretty sure my
calm
side is
down,
better.
calm down. Okay, all my fans on this side of the building, make some noise!
Nah. I think we're better. Please, from my side, make some noise!
Now you know what you gotta beat, guys. Now you know what you gotta beat. Okay, I see some Furia fans. Everybody, Fasambaruyo!
I see. I have 40 fans right there, and I can see in their own language as well. It is time. Sean Macho! Look at them going. They are crazy.
Okay, you know what, Luti?
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
you can beat me 1-0. But we'll check in a little bit later today. Casters, who do you think won that?
I think the fans all won that. You know, I'm going to be completely equivocal, that's everybody won because we got to experience the energy that is going to be put towards this match, the first of our Erangels today, a triple billing. As we sidle over towards match 8 with Nongshim Red Force able to close down a clutch chicken dinner in the final moments of that last game. Now they turn their attention to the grassy pastures, and maybe we'll get an answer to our question about a couple of our other teams. Because, of course, the thought on everyone's minds when it comes to these Erangel situations is, what is going to happen in Pachinki?
Yep.
Is Enigma Galaxy going to be left alone, or is EDA going to continue down their futile path?
Well, that's the question, because the only other question is Enigma Galaxy going anywhere else? And the answer's no, I'll tell you that. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen on the side of Pachinki. But who's gonna get these points, man? We're heading on over to good old-fashioned Erangel. We got 3 of these matches today, and this is the first one here in day number 2 of the finals, live here in Paris, France. This is the PUBG Mobile World Cup.
It's so American of you to say Paris, France, as if anybody was laboring under the delusion it was Paris, Texas. Come on. That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
It's about the same heat, though, I'll tell you that right now, because it was hot outside today.
Oh, yeah. As we are channeling the sun, even when it's hiding behind the moon. Cheeky little sun, you know, got to get him back. We did indeed. But we are going across Erangel once more. The plane path splitting the middle in the most horizontal flight I think I've ever seen.
Right, that's as dead center as it gets right there, literally, right down the middle. And you can start seeing these teams start to spread out. Top players, Aaron right now leading the charge when it comes to damage. But man, those leaderboards changing things up. The Arena still up on top there. Enigma Galaxy down in 3rd, both right behind them. But Aurora and Nongshim Red Force pushed themselves up. Now you can see Nongshim in 5th place with 59 points. That's a much more comfortable position. But we are starting to see some point gaps already starting to be present. This is the most important day here, folks, because that's what's going to set that smash point threshold. And E-Arena have a nice little gap here, so they're a little bit comfortable, but it ain't over yet. They got to keep that aggression up all day long.
Hey, you know what? I talked about it before, right? E-Arena, chicken dinner towards the start of the day, and then what happens, right? It's that question of what happens. Oh, by the way, Ida, not in Pachinki. Enigma Galaxy will be left alone. It is a Gatka split drop for Ida.
Oh, about time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
to all the coaches, to all the analysts, to the players. I love it.
Shout
I love
out to
it.
everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Shout out to Naruto.
Oh, yeah.
Get that Ninetales Furies Og, baby. You gotta get it here quick before it's gone. Because the Naruto Uzumaki event is still going on. We had a nice little show match earlier. Got to see some of the A7 boys once again. Man, putting in some work. Dropping them jutsus. The ninjutsus, substitution jutsus.
That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told they're called. Absolutely. Beautiful stuff. I mean, we saw that show match.
As the show match is incredibly loves to do those, so I'm so glad he was able to get one in.
He looked pretty good with the headband as well.
But yeah, he did. He rocked the red one too. I was like, man, this guy is styling today. Should have kept it on all day, in my opinion.
I think he has.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
right,
saw him
he
backstage.
has.
He was running with his arms behind his back. Yeah. He does that everywhere now.
Wow. I like it. It's a good look. He should hold on to it. Speaking of good looks, right? Ulf looking pretty good today. I mean, they're in second place. They've been getting a ton of eliminations here. It's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing fares out. I'm interested to see kind of how teams develop their mindset here going into today specifically, because I think a lot of squads just need to pretend like, hey, this is match 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got our Rondo out the way, now into Erangel.
Yeah, Aaron doing a lot of work for the team on Ulf right now. The elims he's been able to find, picking them away from a lot of different scenarios. He's been able to extract just these sneaky little flush steals once or twice, as well as the rest of Ulf doing a lot more. They had a really solid position during that rondo. There were some difficult south shifts that forced them off that high ground mountain quite a while into the zones, which kind of took a little bit of momentum away from them. But the fact that they're able to convert and get a decent line on that game was pretty great, pretty great. And getting that match MVP title as well for Aaron. So yeah, in second place, good news for them. One step closer to E-Arena. It's a very tight grouping over towards the top side of these tables still. I mean, there is a bit of a drop-off, I think, you know, from 9th all the way up to 2nd. It's fairly flexible still, given the number of matches we've still got left to play, but it's going to get a lot more solid, and teams beneath that, I feel like you're stretching a little bit far now to try and catch up.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time, right? I mean, we got to look at the math of it. I mean, there's a lot of games still left to be played. I get where you're going with this, though, right? With how these top teams are performing, it's getting real scary here, right? So if you want to be able to make a run for that first place, you got to start performing here, right now. Especially for that 9th place on down. It really is starting to get chicken dinner time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've seen teams go, you know, back to back, triple chicken dinner. So for all you guys that are fans there of, you know, 4 Thrives, Vitality, Flat, S2G, all the squads down there, you know, give your team your energy, right? Start spamming the chat. They need that positive reinforcement here, because they are not even close to out of the running. We got a lot of matches left to go, a couple good wins, and boom, they're at the top.
I'm looking right now at what Enigma Galaxy are doing this split. We saw it from them in the previous stages they played in their group stage. They leave 2 players in Pachinki. They send 2 players out really wide. We've been denied the opportunity to see this happen over the course of these grand finals because of the hot drop with Ida. But now they are unleashed. They've been able to not only get the early loot truck and try and get a little bit of a duplicate on that as well, but they have been able to send out that early duo scout that they seem to find to be successful. They sent out towards Milta Power before on a game that they were able to win in the end, and they now have a foothold over towards the west side in the fields that stretch out to the north of Quarry. And they'll have to figure out how to regroup at some point, but for now there's still a permeable line across the middle of this zone as the arena tried to make it a little bit more waterproof and don't let the Eagle fly.
And the Eagle is grounded here. So he's going to go to the lobby. That's the first elimination. Joker catching it. And that is devastation for this lobby, because, I mean, the Arena are red hot today. Just straight aggression, putting on some points on the board. That 2-2 split you called out there for Enigma Galaxy is great to see. See how well it works out for them, though. As they're putting that 2-2, yeah, because if the zone goes on over to the east side, they got a position locked down. If it goes on over to the west, they got a spot. So just depending on where the zone goes, but at the same time, it's difficult to get there. That's going to be the big question. Aurora, still a military base. They're going to be starting to push themselves up through the bridge side. Nobody gatekeeping it, so they should have a clean path on in. But we're still in the very, very early game here. Only one player in this lobby has been eliminated.
Yeah, only the one pickup found. We saw that. Over onto Tianba as well, which is not going to be friendly. They had a real glow up into the survival stage, I think it's safe to say. But here, it's not quite been as consistent. And that's probably likely to the fact that you're adding the top 10 teams back in. Yeah. Right? You're coming back into the lobby with the teams that directly qualified. Tianba, it's great that they've gained that confidence. This is not the Tianba we saw in their group stage. But there is a little bit more force to come up against. Yeah. And that's, I think, what they're trying to come to terms with.
This lobby is wild. It really is. I love to see just the progression here of PUBG Mobile. Back in the day, we had like a handful of good teams and everybody else was kind of pretty far down when it came to skill. But the skill gap has been closed, and teams are going to have to get moving real quick here. That 2-2 split working out for Enigma Galaxy, considering that they already have a couple players in this area. Vitality's right behind them, though. Coops got to get away from this one. He's on the drive. Trying to sneak away here. Serpentine, he's down low. Can he get away? No.
So close. And remember, the 2-2 split there means that he's just not got the cover of another team, of the rest of his teammates to actually take that fight. So for Enigma Galaxy, this is the worst case scenario. They've left Satan alone out on the western side. Ralph and Lord unlikely to be able to push on through. Ulf losing Aaron though, as they rotate out to the west as well, is a pretty big pickup for the lobby to be able to find that one. I feel like they've got a pretty solid spot on this. Vitality trying to line the edge of that swamp. Defend it like an ogre.
Run, Satan, run. He's all by himself, just trying to find a position for the rest of his team. But the rest of his team is going to have a tough time rotating on over to him.
Yeah, that's. I was just having a little chuckle to myself about how it looks like Satan's trying to go over the north, and the other duo from Enigma Galaxy, it looks like they're trying to go around the south. And the Benny Hill music was playing in my head. They were chasing each other's tails, and neither one able to catch it. But it's going to be a sent straight through the middle. I mean, for Enigma Galaxy, it's a repair play. A lovely little thread on the needle there for IQ. Over towards Federalis, and they share the swamp across the way.
Nice little pop shot. Oh, they want this. Okay, 14's on the push. Here come 4 Thrives now. Battling it out. Huzaifa up close and personal. Axel driving away, using that hovercraft to find an off angle. That's going to make things interesting. Vitality going to have to make some plays, though. Irina catching out Raouf, so that 2-2 split not working at all. Bounce nade is going to be good from Huzaifa. And 4T turning things around. There's another one!
Hell yeah.
You had to know it was coming, Axel. And you pay the price.
T24 does get flushed in the meantime. S2G third-partying this from the south side. Hodgins Razak is in the hovercraft, but it starts to go up in flames, and down he goes. 4 Thrives. Ruthless aggression roll-up coming on in. Hit them with a suplex and take them down out of the ring. They are no longer in this Royal Rumble.
Ooh, welcome to Suplex City, baby. That's how you do it. 4 Thrives getting hot. 4 eliminations, taking out Team Vitality with a great shutdown there. And now you can see on the side of Everest, Team Flash, they're going to be holding that high ground. Next circle about to pop. Are we going to see another crazy hard shift? We'll find out. Lord getting eliminated here, and south we go. Yoink!
All right. I mean, to be fair, this is actually kind of chill, given the layout of all of our teams,
sure,
right?
We're already here.
A lot of them decided to go down south. The major feature that caused this is those fields, right? They sit to the south of Hospital. Nobody wants to sit in them. It is really nasty to be in that sort of area, as well as Everest being a roadblocker on the northeast side of it. It creates this lineup. So teams funneled into this south side, so a circle like this actually benefits the majority of the lobby.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I mean, they were already all set up in this position. The zone going here, super beneficial. This is a huge spot here, and it's a battle of contention. Aurora starting to push Nongshim Red Force. It's a rematch, and Nongshim Red Force win once again.
No doubt in my mind, that's how it should have gone in that last match. They make it happen, repeating history. And does that mean that Aurora are living up to the definition of insanity? I don't know, but they're gonna have to change something if they want to win the fights against Nongshim and join them back up on the podium, because they are putting some pace down now, the South Korean side, opening distance and take control of an area on the south edge of this circle. Putting pressure onto S2G, stopping Godlike potentially moving in, as well as Flash off in the distance.
I've had the pleasure of being able to spend some good quality time with the players from Aurora, especially after their performance at PMGC. And I'll tell you one thing, if I know these guys, they are fuming right now.
Well, you know, it's not infrequent that Doc wins the MVP awards, despite not winning this tournament.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily on track to do that here, but yeah, it's evident that they definitely are gunning for this top spot, but right now they're being denied.
Yeah, let's take a look though as we move on over to some of these other fights. Now 14 teams are remaining. We got Aurora, Vitality out. A couple players from some other squads out as well. Wolf did lose a player early on. But E-Arena, 2 eliminations. They are the big squad in this lobby. Got a nice position in this zone as well. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this game is gonna fare. Also can't wait to hear what the Deaths has to say, especially about like that Enigma Galaxy split. I hope we hear from them because it's such an interesting play.
Well, I mean, that circle shift out to the west side that went so quickly kind of devastated them. If it hadn't been as hard, it basically, I think almost any other circle, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as devastating for them. It was just so nasty because everybody started flooding west almost immediately. Oh, speaking of difficult circle shifts, that is pretty nasty. But yeah, the regroup was then completely blocked off.
It did it
the
again.
gap started to close, and the backstop for Enigma Galaxy wasn't pacey enough to catch up this time. Yeah, disappointing, unfortunate. Maybe they need a hot drop to be able to perform well in these games. Maybe Ida should go back to Pachinki, and that's what they've read into. But you know, Ida, pretty happy with themselves what they did right now, because they have that Gakko position. They are one of the only teams in the northeast side in these open fields.
And they get blessed here in this circle, and that just goes to show sometimes a hot drop is good to avoid. Satan all by himself. Oh, he's so in trouble. It's on fire. That Murado, he's gonna have to pop out, lay down, and Nongshim Red Force right there. This is like literally the worst location he can be stuck into. Not good. Well, yeah, just a bad game for Enigma Galaxy overall. Still a couple more though in the books.
It's not terrible for him in this position, right? You have this little defilade, you're kind of covered off from the buildings out in the open. The nades, though, from Nongshim does make it all the more terrible.
That looks pretty terrible.
With which they rolled up does make it harder, but he's still got a little bit of fire in the belly.
Less terrible now. Yeah, Satan on the move. Did get a nice knock there, and now it's bad.
Okay, yeah, well, he's not there anymore. My point was, there is a little bit of cover, and teams on that ridgeline can't necessarily peek over the top. The reason that they were able to do so is because there isn't so many teams out in the open fields, right? And if it happened a little bit later, maybe that would have changed. So I think I read a little bit too much into that to call it enough cover. But either way, he does go down.
6 shot, though.
One of the very few players to be able to knock Hyunbin on that trade, though.
Yep, that was really nice.
Just saying.
Just saying, indeed. Not an easy feat.
Hora.
Wow, what happened to Hora?
They tried to roll in from the west side, and it didn't work. I think that's a pretty apt summation of what's about to happen.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, you do. Orangutan have a real opportunity, though, to find an isolated outpost as the south side gets hot as well.
Yeah, it's getting hot indeed. You can see so easy on fire. But down to 1 HP, he's gonna get knocked. Ula looking to take out Nongshim Red Force.
S2G.
And yeah, here comes S2G. This Wizard Tower is by far one of the most dominant positions in this zone, and that's why so many teams, they want it and they want it bad. S2G on the push. They know that Wizard Tower is weak from this hillside. Starting to throw some utility out, trying to see if they can get a good opening knock here.
Seems like they're slowing it down, though. Over on the northwest side, you've got E-Arena at loggerheads. Scrapping it out across the way as well with Furia. 2 players, 3 players now down. Turney K's on the inside, terminating with the P90. Pops the reload there, gets the ammo back into control, and the res can come through as well for the backlines. Furia are going to get dismantled, and they get taken down.
Oh, it's rough, especially considering they lost out to E-Arena. They feed E-Arena 4 more points. The White Rabbit really on the run here. Hopping to victory. Next zone, where's he going? If it centers up, it's going to be disgusting as that field is wide open. Okay, it goes to the north side.
Is it like a rule that the circle has to touch the edge of the previous one in this game?
Just hug it.
It's just like, yeah, I just pick a point around the circle. Yep. I attach myself to that. See what we're going to go for. Another hard shift is crazy, but it's a crazy fight unfolding for Godlike as they find one, try and trade it around the corner with Team Flash, and Tops goes down, put into the meat grinder there.
Let's go at Mino, getting a nice knock and finish. 4 points on the side of Godlike. Haven't had the hottest of starts here. Still putting up some points on the board though. OG, other Indian team, putting in some nice knocks. And Godlike OG are right next to each other on the leaderboards. Again, still a lot of matches left to be played. This could be that start for them to take charge. A few good games is all it takes.
There's fewer and fewer matches though getting played. Alola try and roll up, try and take this fight with S2G, but it's not going super well for them as they haven't even been able to find that knock onto Hamzy. Down the hill, he was able to survive on a sliver of HP, gets the healing done nice and fast, and S2G can transition now without Alola breathing down their necks. They've only got 1 player, and Yasa is already sending out into the open. 4 Thrives getting roadblocked on the northern rotate as Ulf and the Arena sit in front of them. Alola losing their final backstop, and Godlike now trying to roll up into the engagement as Ida takes shots from a distance.
Yeah, and that's it for Alola. Now you got S2G that we're holding this Wizard Tower here, but is now outside of the circle. They're gonna have to get moving. Meanwhile, you got Tianba trying to get rezzed up here. Out in the open. They got a couple busted up vehicles here for cover, utilizing those smokes as well, but the pressure is imminent. Now comes Scarface. Scarface with a nice nade onto Joker. That's gonna finally pepper E-Arena's position. But now E-Arena are in this next zone. Godlike trying to possibly gatekeep this. I almost ran right into that nade. That was dangerous.
Solo remaining for Nongshim.
Did they spot him?
A spiteful look in his eye, a glint, a gleam of malice, but it's spotted by Solke. He sees that one gleaming in the grass and puts it down. Snake out of action.
That's huge. Now they don't got to worry about that anymore. But now they got to worry about Godlike as they got one of those players up close and personal. Gonna switch on fights all over to this fight though as E-Arena, top team in the lobby, still alive. Now we're back.
Hey, they're more than alive. They're kind of thriving on this northwest side in that fight. Goodness me. Godlike losing their backstop there as Mino goes down. And now playing on as 2 chunks being torn out of everyone as Turney K continues to turn up the heat with that P90. Finds a load of elims from Ulf.
Turney K now taken out. That is huge. That's going to be from Aching. Tianba now getting in the mix. They know it's E-Arena. So if you're Tianba, this needs to be your hard focus here. You want to be able to slow them down.
I mean, you want to, sure. You absolutely do. But the question is, can you? With Turney K out, you're right, without that P... Oh, wait, hang on a minute. I think Joker was able to recover the P90 just there.
Do you have ammo for it, though?
I believe he was able to pick everything up there from the body. But it's a hard shift again.
What is going on?
It has to touch the previous circle.
It's a rule.
I'm telling you. It's something about this game. 4 Thrives, they're going to have to leave, but they may have to leave one of their players behind as Falak has taken a knee. Scarface down low. Last player alive for Ulf. A nade over the top from IQ. Good bounce.
Too slow.
Rolls under. Right behind the wheel arch and it's right in his face. Scarface, you can't chew that.
Oh, man, he ate that one. And 4 Thrives on the move. IQ going on over to Falak. It's the res right on time. Save.
Able to keep things alive. No idea what that was. Able to keep him alive, but Zypher not so lucky. As Falak will get back to his feet. But they have a long road to tread now. S2G covering up the south rotate, and I feel like E-Arena sweeping around may not be the worst idea. Maybe try and push through 4 Thrives, continue on, challenge S2G's backstop, maybe. Oh, it's a difficult approach. no matter which way you cut it. But for E-Arena, they're already on 6 elims, Dukes. They're already into the top 6. They're having a good game, and everybody from 2nd down to 6th has already gone down.
Oh, Schweppes spins out and gets punished. Balak barely moving out the way, gets a couple, but now there's Mormon up. IQ, got to make a play here. You need to stop E-Arena. They have been too dominant so far. They are putting in work. They take down Balak. Now Mormon gonna have to run away. This nade looks good from IQ though. Oh, it gets to secure 4 Thrives. Finally shut down E-Arena.
Okay, so they are drawn a little bit shorter than they could have gone. Really nice hold there from Falak, I think, on that roll-up. From E-Arena, he was able to do so much damage. Unfortunately, not able to survive, but IQ was. And he was able to put a 10th elimination on the cards there for 4 Thrives. They have been blasting on this western side. In the thick of it, the fight, seemingly, where the flower of their success has bloomed. IQ now rolls over the top, steps up with Aching, and he springs out wide. Nearly sends to the sky, but will take the tumble, finally going down. And breaches them up to 60 points.
Oh, and now he gets it. I'll take that buggy. Thank you very much. As he's going to go ahead and head into this next zone. Uh-oh, getting shot up, though. That hurt.
I don't think he is.
And S2G said, no, sir, not today.
Not getting in here. Access denied. Hey, you know what's brilliant?
What's that?
Ida didn't hot drop, and now they're in the final circle.
Oh!
Isn't that great?
It's almost like it was a good idea.
Who'd have thought? Who could have thought that not dying immediately would be a good idea? Orangutan trying to break out from their combat on the north side, but again, so open. 2 teams with broadside on you. I don't think you last that much longer here. Cop on that north edge. I feel like we're just waiting for him to go down here.
Oh, yeah.
And he falls.
Goodbye, and S2G finally started to make some noise here in Erangel, but it's S2G versus Ida.
2 teams from Turkey. Out in the open, though, S2G definitely have control of this circle.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment, Ida are completely penned in within their compound, and with this circle, they have to leave. There is no 2 ways about it.
Man.
They have to get out of there. The question is how you do it. The start needs to be a big pick.
The zone didn't touch the edge.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
What a change up here. Kamikaze able to find a P90 and full level 3 gear. Oh man, that is just so good on the side of S2G. Gotta be careful though, he's gonna be hiding behind this tree. Cannot afford to get knocked, but they have full control of the circle. Ida have to move out. If you're Ida right now, you really need to kind of start peeking and trying to find a pick. If you can get a good knock here.
I think. No, they're just mounting up. I mean, look at the timers on those smokes.
Oh,
yeah, they're just going to go for the vehicle rollout and try and crash it. They're going to try and read the zone. The laying out back, the laying out wide for S2G. They've left a trap for Lost to be able to find the pickup, but Rita may be able to find something. The fact that there's only 1 knock set to Ida is not great for S2G, but finally get a second. There is finally an answer, and Emre charges in, but the ammo count is very, very low there, and they've already lost 2.
Trying to get this confirmation. He should be able to get at least 1. Yeah, he'll take that point. All right, well, that's a consolation prize. But S2G looking to make this happen unless Darkin gets a good shot. He's only got 21 rounds left.
In the Mini 14.
And Kamikaze's full level 3'd out. That's going to be a hard knock.
I mean, there's plenty of ammo left in the back pocket there.
Oh,
Kamikaze. Oh, what a lineup. Steps out a little bit too wide there. And Emre able to shut it down, but he's getting crunched in by the zone. Forced in, but S2G seemed like they had complete broadside here, but now we're in a 2 versus 2. Emre steps back into the blue. Baits Sulke out for the peak, but doesn't quite confirm. He's still down on his belly, though. Stands up, goes for the fight. Does take a lick back, but Sulke puts him down. A 1 versus 2 as Darkin spreads out wide, tries to sweep over towards the off angle.
Hit the gas. Darkin coming up close and personal, and S2G with the DVS. And nah, not today. This is our game to win. That's a big S2G chicken dinner.
S2G going God mode at the end there. Chokehold on the zone, able to take it all down. Nobody standing in their way. Really nicely felt there on that south edge. For Ida, a little bit too passive in their zone, in their compound, but they survived deep into the match, Jukes, and that is a good result. I feel like they were able to do, well, I know that they were able to do a lot more than they've done in any other Erangel over the course of this tournament.
Yeah, or any other game in this tournament.
Of these finals.
Yeah, this is huge for the side of Ida. Honestly, a great finish. They were stuck in those buildings. That's a hard one to win. I just personally would rather see them just from those buildings really try to pursue a knock before just randomly sending it in. I think that would have been the play. But hey, you know what? To each their own. Sometimes you got to go for it. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But S2G, I mean, they're so good at just popping people out of vehicles that it just made it hard. But we did see that solo player from Ida really put in work towards the end, almost turned things around for them.
I mean, Emery was doing a lot over in the open field there. I feel like what happened there was that they got information on the back lines on towards where Lost was, and they were able to flow out that way, and that's what they went for in those final moments. Maybe a little bit overinvested on the angle though.
Let's listen in to hear what they have to say on that match.
Sürünüyor ya. Bak eve bak. Evdeki alana arabayla çıkıyor, sağlı çıkıyor. Tamam. Hamsi çok iyi bakman lazım ona. Hadi arabayı bakacağım. Ha, çok mermi yok, sıkmayacağım, gelsin. Geliyor, sana geliyor. Pozisyon alacağım. Nice oğlum, nice, çok iyisin.
That sounded really chill. That sounded really chill, relaxed. They felt in control, and I could smell it.
Oh yeah, they knew that was their win. Yeah, let's get high, folks. This is what it's all about. The best of the best on the planet battling it out for some major money. What a game. S2G finally get their win here. And we still got a whole bunch of more games coming up.
WC 26, I'm the 7WG, and I'm joined by none other than the record-breaking man, Snacks Gaming. Snacks, how are you enjoying Paris so far?
I'm in amazing bonjour and representing India here doing the watch party. I'm the first Indian ever to host a watch party officially from the S tier tournament, World Stage, World Cup. First Indian ever to do the watch party, and I'm super proud that these 8 boys, the game they showed in the group stage, the way they qualified, the standard they have set, because we don't get to play regularly these lobbies, and the way they adapted these lobbies and the way they qualified made us proud, and that's why I'm here.
That's the biggest one, the way that they have adapted to the lobby. I feel like it's one of their biggest strengths too. We saw that with OG, we saw it with Godlike as well. Talking about Godlike, no more hot drops out of that team. They started performing a lot better here in these last matches.
In the group stage, as they said, they did try to experiment the drop fights. I mean, they had a lot of drop fights, but initially for the first day of the group stage, they didn't feel good after taking the drop fights. They switched the playstyle and now they're playing safe for the initial part of the drop. Then after that, if they survive 4-man, you have seen the players' potential. The way S-Power clutched. I mean, I feel like it's going to be the clutch of the tournament. The way he played. The gunpower these boys have is insane. I just want them to stick together, play 4-man together, because in this lobby, it's all about team game. It's all about the way these teams isolate fights. And I wish they play together and they bring something really good performance back for India.
And I'm hoping that's going to be the case, especially with the first round that we just saw, and then on the upcoming matches as well. I think they will be able to bounce back. I have Godlike finishing in top 5 and OG finishing in top 10.
Damn.
What are your predictions, brother?
I mean, I just want them to do good, because we don't know the struggle they have been going through. We don't know the grind, how much grind they have did. Everything answers only through the gameplay. I wish we get top 5 for both the teams. It's going to be a huge thing for India, because again I said we don't get used to play regularly in these lobbies, and we get more opportunities because of these boys. And all these players watching from India, all these esports players watching from India, they'll get inspired and they'll feel motivated to do more for the country.
100%. Shukriya, bye. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show, and I hope that the Indian teams continue to step it up. Back for some more PMWC at EWC 26. interview with Snacks Gaming. I'm glad that he was able to make it here to Paris, EWC 26 for PMWC, the Grand Finals. But let's talk about this game because S2G, we finally got a chance to see S2G the way that we have been wanting them to, pretty much having to grind out that circle, having to push people away like they were able to do with Alula.
It was clearly a Turkish wombo combo right there. First and second place got Ida getting himself to second place finally, right? Can talk about that a bit later on. But yeah, S2G, beautiful fight onto Al-Ula. There was Godlike, there was also Nongshim Red Force, and they were all vying for that one Harry Potter tower down on the southern edge. And overall, the fighting capabilities of S2G have been soaring in the finals, and we just see more consistency, which is what I was hoping to see from this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy right now the classic Kamikaze, which is now canonically known as just the full center as a one player, and then just dominate from there. And the thing is, Kamikaze can get it done, which is super interesting. He just exerts a lot of control. Soul K from the backlines on that anchor, super cool. Wouldn't call it a wombo combo. I wouldn't be comboing Ida with S2G. That's not fair. I'd have them separately. You know, S2G, you know, maybe up here, then Ida maybe down here, something like that.
I felt like that was the only time I could really say it, so that's why.
Sitting at the end giggling at you guys. Can I just hand it over to IQ? Can I just
yes,
can I pick an MVP right now? Because holy guacamole, the clutch insanity from IQ right now. Obviously, you know, we kind of want the rest of Fourth Rise to join in on that action, but the clutch ability and also the decision making and the macro calls from IQ right now is insane. Also, the opening fights and frags that IQ is doing. We obviously saw it on the rooftop. I think I blinked. I think me and Max just kind of blinked, and I was like, wow, that was the fastest kill I've kind of seen. But like, it's insane the performance coming out of a single player right now.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw him being able to get that first knock on Vitality. I ended up jumping off my seat, Max, because that was such a good opening, and it was actually the decision making, as you were just mentioning, Lace. The decision making from this squad is something that we keep kind of questioning, but they were able to just send it right away to Vitality without even thinking about it. They were like, one knock, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good decision making overall. We're just trading mics all over the place. But no, it's lovely to see that IQ gets that opening knock with an insanely accurate burst spray. Right, that was just a beautiful execution, and the team's like, well, we have the man advantage. Might as well send it and actually get that engagement. So yeah, IQ's just been spectacular, not just in terms of the eliminations he's able to get. We're just trading stuff right now still. But also in the terms of the opportunities he is able to create for the entirety of the team. And when an opportunity has been made, man, they just fully send it.
They do fully send it. Let's take a look, actually. I want to see 4Thrive stats so far, because this team is one that has been picking it up so far today. They've been getting those eliminations. I want to see a little bit more placement points out of this squad, especially for this last match. IQ, it's not just Falag too, Blank, because that's one thing that we always talk about 4Thrives. Falag, who Sci-Fi has been able to step it up to when we ended up thinking about PMGO. T24 is that player that just really hasn't been performing that well. I'm hoping is going to start picking it up.
I mean, T24 has always been a really good player, right, overall, which has been nice to see. But you're right, Huzaifa putting a lot of work here. IQ, you were talking about clutch ability with the macro player as well on side. I mean, he's making some good calls right now. I think for this game, you're getting deeper and deeper into these matches is a really, really important thing for 4Thrives. There was a lot of love from the crowd there as well, which was great to see. Also, going to just say, why have you got a heavier mic than to all of us? Your mic, like, is...
Let's switch it.
What, you want yours back? King Mike.
So I can talk to Tomash.
This one's like less. Ooh. Better. Yeah, this feels light, you know? Light on my feet, on the desk. You can call this a desk, it's more of a couch. But yeah, overall, I think I completely agree with you. Macro-wise, looking great. I do just want to kind of bring it back to Tiamba right now. They did drop in.
Max, don't leave me hanging. Come on.
Oh, sorry. Hey,
please go on.
Let's chat about Tiamba, right? We had a lot to talk about them today, didn't we, Lace? They've dropped in a new sub now in Shallow. Milu's out for the time being. I think that the team definitely slowed down. Slowed down in a big way. It is hurting them a lot. We're not seeing those snap decisions anymore.
Yeah, it's not even like that they're trying to do something a little bit different. It's now just their strategy is not working for it's insane to see. They're still making the same strategies, the rotates, but when going into a fight now, they seem to be losing it, which they're playing their same game, but it's not working out for them. So I'm seeing I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Me too. And one team that's been picking it up, especially here in the last couple of games too, has been OG. OG has been able to step it up. We saw them finish in the top 4 situation right there. And they've been seeing, we even saw them in Rondo being able to get eliminations too, switching it up a little bit more, using the Rondo
since they're able to revive people, trying to be more aggressive, Max.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see the aggression we witnessed from them back in their respective group, right? It kind of fizzled out. They've been more passive from time to time. But no, here actually a really good 2-2 split, maintaining that high ground position up north and sending 2 players down. I understand the reasoning behind it, but at the end, pushing that compound is incredibly rough onto Ida as we check out all of the winning teams of today. But I do want to highlight here before we do wrap up this desk, man, Ida finally gave up the whole drop onto Nigma Galaxy. Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
It's good, right? You know, getting a second place off the back of that is cool. I was almost expecting them to clutch up there versus S2G because that is very typical Ida, is just to get all the way to an end game and then just have a really silly win at the end of it.
Yeah, Ida, sorry, I'm thinking about Furia because I saw them being able to get that chicken dinner earlier in the day. But Ida, yes, I agree with both of you. I'm glad that they finally just stopped doing that hot drop and decided to change the mentality because they were in last place before they decided to make that change. One team that's currently not in last place and is wanting to challenge that first place is none other than Furia, and I believe Kalara's got a chance to talk to them.
Hey guys, of course I am down here on the stage with Ayala as I have him after this great performance here throughout day number 2 of the finals. My first question here for Erangel is, sorry, Miramar even I should say, in the second Miramar. You guys had great space control to be able to eventually get yourself to that win. So talk to me about that late game and what threats you might have faced.
Queria perguntar como é que foi o jogo de Miramar para vocês, né? Ali no final, como é que vocês estavam se sentindo ali no late game? Qual foi a estratégia de vocês?
E aí, tudo bem? Esse jogo aí a gente começou perdendo o chifre, só que a gente não desistiu e continuou querendo. A gente jogou bem esse jogo mesmo estando em trio. Então a gente ganhou os morros, foi jogando juntos e a gente conseguiu ganhar a play.
So it was very nice play. We managed to get it through with 3 players, so it was really important for us. We made the right decisions, then we could get it.
Awesome. So let's talk about the rondo for a moment, because that was great as well. You guys eventually entered into the silos, the urban area and things like that. And I thought you were going to be in a lot of trouble, but you actually looked amazing in that execution. So what were your concerns on rondo? Who were you kind of looking out for and how did you execute that?
A partida de Rondo também foi muito boa, né? Vocês entraram ali no silo e ficaram por ali. Parecia que ia dar ruim algumas horas, mas conseguiram sair muito bem. Quais eram as suas preocupações ali nessa queda, nessa partida? O que vocês estavam sentindo?
Nessa partida de Rondo, a gente começou bem, fazendo marquills no começo, depois fomos pegando marquills, só que a gente errou em algumas coisas no finalzinho que a gente depois da play conversou, então tomara que nas próximas plays a gente consiga ajeitar tudo para conseguir ganhar esse campeonato.
So it was a pretty nice match. We managed to get some kills on the start and in the middle game, but by the end we did some mistakes, but after the game we talked, we solved those mistakes and we are better for the next ones.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Ayala. That does it for us here down on the stage.
Thank you, Kalaris, and thank you, Ayala, as well, for that great answer. And yeah, for this team, I mean, they started off hot today. This last match, though, ended up being a big old donut. I think they'll be able to bounce back.
Ayala, you may have your driver's license back. I will bestow it upon you once more, because now the decisions to use the vehicle are working for you and not just going in there and seeing what sticks. But no, look, the elimination consistency from Furia is, you know, we always speak about it. They are a sort of an aggressive, dominant team. But now, you heard it from them. They're taking it there. They are moving a little bit further in placement points, which is exciting to see, especially on the map where they they got their chicken dinner and the way that they were able to just wait. Sometimes they just get a little bit too happy, aggressive, and they're like, you know what, we're going to create our own play. However, the patience that they are showing now, especially Max, it's just working for them, and it's a great Furia look.
It really is. I mean, I kind of want to go a little bit deeper almost on Furia in the sense that I was expecting Silence and Ayala to put up big numbers, which they still are on occasion, but I feel like Higot has really risen up the ranks in this tournament. He's gotten so many great plays. Sometimes where players will give him a lot of 1v1s, and you don't want to do that to Higot because you will get those eliminations if you give them that slightest opportunity to fight back. But yeah, Higot is looking great. So literally the entirety of Furia has that potential to be in the top 10 players in this event.
Well, you got to remember Igor, too, is a player that has won MVP in the past for Americas, too, when he ended up being in previous teams before joining Furia, right? So we know that he can definitely put up those points. We just want to see Silence even more. Silence, what's your pick for MVP? But let's take a look at the overall so we can see where some of these squads are currently sitting at, because I would love to see where Furia is currently at, with E-Arena still being in first place, the gap being there about 18 points from off Esports.
Well, I mean, for Isla and Chief as well, like back in Liquid days, I think for, honestly, those boys, the big thing about their team play was that they locked down endgames massively. They massively locked down endgames. We're not quite getting there yet. We are slowing things down, like you say, Lace, which is a very, very good thing to get those placement points on board. But I think that as soon as we start seeing Fury in those endgames, we're looking really good. Nick McGalaxy's still up there. Ulf looking fantastic. I mean, it's more consistent than anything. They haven't really been a big driver in these matches, but sitting at 67 points right now, I think they can push that a little bit further. But Aurora slowly slipping down these rankings now.
Yeah, Aurora is starting to be a bit of a red flag for me as well, Lace.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing to see. They're getting active and busy in sort of these mid games, but they're not sort of pushing it any further than that, and not sort of solidifying any eliminations. It's kind of like I feel like Aurora and especially Ulf, they're obviously doing well. They're not on that second page, but I kind of feel like they're just sliding by. Consistency's there. I would say Aurora has dropped more consistency than Ulf, for example, but I'm kind of just feeling like they're grazing by.
I mean, Aurora actually, if you compare it, the placement points to the teams above them, they all got wins, right? 1 win, 2 wins. So actually, the placement points are not bad. It's just really the eliminations they're missing out on. Second page, though, teams
which
still,
is wild.
Yeah, starting to still linger down here. But keep in mind, Ida started the day with 2 points. Now they got 25. They're not in the bottom rank anymore.
Not hyping them up. They've had one good game.
I got to praise them. They didn't hot drop. Okay, so I don't want them to go back to it. Good job, Ida. Keep it up. Yes.
It's like a kindergarten right now.
Ida fighting.
Good job. You used blue instead of red there.
You get a gold star.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see more Ida. I think Emre's a great player, but we have to be honest. We do have to be honest here about it, where it's not looking great. I'd like to see them push that a little bit further now going forward. But yeah, I do think they're a good team. I think they're a good team. It's just I want to see more out of them. And until then, I'm not going to be praising them for not hot dropping 3 times in a row.
I will. I'm still happy. So
I know you're a lovely guy compared to me.
Hey. By the way, I want to say, I'm a little bit scared for Ulf because they're in second place. They got the second place curse. They're Suk 2.0, right? PMGC last year. PMGO Season 1, they got second place, right? Just behind the likes of Four Thrives and just above Furia. Second place and Ulf is not a great storyline. They're not friends, but they're still up there.
What was that about the nice guy thing? No. Look, I obviously on that second page just want to touch on Godlike. Their close range battles, amazing. But unfortunately, they're sort of hanging around that engagement too long. And these are sort of in the mid to late games where obviously smaller circle, more teams, third parties are happening. So they're not sort of leaving this engagement fast enough and making that decision to put themselves in a nice spot. However, yeah, their fights, close range, mid range, in buildings has been so good to watch. And whether it be the whole team or just 2 of them, they do have that firepower and strength and they're holding on really well. So I do hope that, you know, after this engagement, they can move a little further in with their placement and just get those top 5s.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. It is a great point there. Close range combat is really, really good. I think so far in the finals, S-Power has made the best play to date.
Yes.
His Longhouse fight was just, he was a weapon in that moment, or a deadly one at that. I mean, the Molotov through the door, I think the impressive thing about that, it doesn't look amazing in the moment, but the amount of times teams will just bank that Molotov off the doorway and it will just burn yourself out. He ends up finishing Vitality with that Molotov, so it's like a lot of presence of mind in those moments, which is great. But coming back to your point, I think there needs to be, yeah, exactly, presence of mind going forward after that of where you want to take the next thing. I'm willing to give this team the benefit of the doubt right now. I still think they're trying to figure out the pressure on a main stage like this, and it's totally okay. And I think they should be proud of what they've done. I think it's nice to see 2 Indian orgs with like very different play styles as well, you know, learning the battlefield and actually doing fairly good in it. I think OG as well is starting to level up. Aru's getting those eliminations, but so is a Tanky, and I think a Tanky was a great player.
That was the biggest question mark for OG, right? Wondering when the other players were going to start showing up, not just Aru. And I'm with you with during the Godlike and that Molotov. In that moment, we were all hyped. We were like, yes, that was an amazing Molotov because it stopped the other team from being able to just fully flush out the players that were not from him. But before we send it over to the next match, let's send it over to Kalaris and Neptera.
That's right, down on the stage here, of course, with Neptura, Goddess of the Sea, here as we have had 4 games down, 4 games to go. We're going to talk about some of the teams as well, Nep, as we had Furia, looking fantastic so far. Let's just ignore game one for a second. But other than that, looks really, really good throughout the day.
It has. I'm really, really excited to see what Fury is actually going to be doing moving forward into the next couple of games, because they are looking just so much better. Their synergy is on point. You can tell the communication is much better. You know, Ayala and Silence, again, in that Miramar, got to shout out them. They were looking very, very good. You know, just being able to play together and work around each other in a way that we were not seeing yesterday. So, yeah, I am really excited with them. They're being very decisive as well, using zone, using other teams. So I do like that a lot for them.
Yeah, listening to Ayala just before in the interview, right, very clearly that they're able to shrug off any inconsistencies, shrug off any kind of challenges that do come their way, have a little conversation about it, and then be able to get right back on the horse again to be able to put themselves in a great spot. So I think I've particularly been impressed by the fact that Furia, when they basically fourth-parted that fight on the Miramar, just to clear out that west side was so pivotal to be getting that win.
Oh, it was, and it was such great knowledge of what the teams had to do, right? Not just worrying about their game, but also worrying about what the other teams, what their options were in that zone, right? You know, they were making sure that S2G couldn't come around to the south side. They were making sure Hora didn't push them either, that they were forced into each other. So really just narrowing everybody else's team, everybody else's options. And that is what I love in a team, is that team control, not worrying so much about themselves, but how do we make everybody else work for us?
Let's talk about one of the big names from the group stage, of course, 4 Thrives, that I know a lot of people are looking at and having big expectations of, and rightly so considering what we saw from them in the group stage.
Yeah, I really am hopeful for them because, yeah, again, similar to Furia, right? 4 Thrives had a rocky start to the finals, but what we're seeing from them, particularly in that last Erangel, is they're starting to do their splits over onto that west side. They're starting to split up. They're starting to spread out. They're starting to take up more space, have a little bit more presence, and to me, that tells me that they're feeling very confident now. They're starting to get that confidence back. For me, I want to see just a little bit more of snappy action coming in. They need to make those rotations a little bit quicker. They need to make those plays a little bit quicker. Those decision making, the timing has to be snappier for me, but otherwise it's just looking really much better.
There's been some good moments, but there is also the fact that this lobby has now leveled up even further. They were able to thrive in the group of death. No about it, but it really has been quite the test here so far for them, especially when they find themselves in some of those split positions where, unfortunately, I kind of, again, like the Rondo situation, I think it's just a little too early to be there, and then eventually they get caved in on. Finally, let's talk about Flash.
Yes.
A team that had like big expectations as well coming in to this tournament as a whole. Not quite got their footing underneath them though. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I think, I'm not sure what's happened, right? Because we did see them have in the group stage, right? They were never this massive frag team, but they always had this quiet dominance. They were always able to be in those end stages. They were always able to take home a few eliminations, even if it wasn't a podium win. And today and yesterday, there's not even that. There's nothing. They're playing very compact. They're playing very much by themselves. They're not really looking to other players. If players look at them, they're like, no, please don't do that. You know, it's just like, it's odd, and with just nothing in them.
Is it because Max picked them to win?
Possibly. It is possible.
Yeah, possibly. Who just laughed in my ear? What was that? Was that our producer?
I think it was.
Even the producer knows about the Max Man curse. This is ridiculous. But yeah.
Infamous.
I think in the group stage they had some good splits and stuff like that. But yeah, we've got to get a little bit more here in the finals. All right, it's time to get into our next game here. Game number 5 of the day here for PMWC Day 2 Finals.
Thank you very much, Kalaris and Netura down on the stage, leading us into the not the final, Erangel. Get ahead of myself. Goodness me. We're on to match number 9. We're on our middle billing of Erangel today, and we have one more match of it after this as well, as we are near enough crossing the halfway mark of our day after this one as well. Of course, this will be the 4th match that we played on our big bumper bonus day of 8 matches.
Let's get into it. This Erangel is going to be a big one right here. We've already played 2 matches of Miramar. We had a Rondo, and now we are getting into our 2nd match of Erangel here. And it's going to be interesting to see just which team is going to come out on top, because we're starting to see a little bit of differences here, right? We're starting to see some of the squads at the bottom show up. It's good to see Ida make some noise, and honestly, if they were going to start making a run, now's the time. So it's good to see that movement happen. There's still plenty of games. You've seen plenty of times teams, boom, right, get back-to-back chicken dinners. And let's see if now is going to be that opportune time for EDA, now that they're no longer hot dropping Enigma Galaxy.
Maybe they're feeling themselves after that one.
Yeah.
They're just going to go back.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah. Or like, hang on a minute. We're quite good at this. We got late into that game. You know, let's go back on the hot drop them because we'll win now, right? Right? Oh. Don't think that's going to work out. Hopefully they stay away, but that might be good news for everybody who's facing Enigma Galaxy. We saw their 2-2 split out from Pachinki not really work out too well from them in that last game. The circle shifts were very, very dramatic. I think it's safe to say for the majority of the zones right up until the final one, where it started to get a little bit more sensible by that time. So many had already fallen victim to the circle on those shifts, on those rotates. It was pretty difficult to even get to that stage. Not many teams did. Plane path now sending down the east side of the mainland, going between Stalber and Severny and heading over to Novo. So potentially difficult to get out towards Gatka. And you know, this is the sort of situation where I feel like EDA might just go back to Pachinki.
Oh, that would be a sight to see, that is for sure. But the plane's in the air, the island's down below. Aaron Gale's officially open for business. And oh man, if we see them go back to the...
Because they can't get to Gatka.
I know they can't, but they gotta adapt. You gotta be able to make those changes. They're able to push themselves outside of last place. 25 points on the board. If they get a good performance here, they absolutely can make a run for it. But let's see what happens. You got Vitality already out, heading towards Stalber. You got Aura going up towards...
Oh, crisis averted.
Yes,
They're going east.
They're going east. Good play. EDA making some adjustments.
Oh, hang on a minute. One of them's going... Dark is going east. And, okay, they're doing it. Okay, they're going for the Milta Peninsula, it seems. Going for a little bit of a split drop, sending Darkin out, grabbing a vehicle to get on in and involved.
Little Milta power action.
Just because it's not EDA going to Pachinki doesn't mean anyone else can't go there, but I don't think anyone else has. So I was keeping a track of that. There's a nasty circle for this sort of a plane path as well. Does a lot of work to push these teams close together. Sure, it has some of the military base in. It's just very, very unlikely. I would give it about maybe 10% likelihood that you're going over to that military base. Which isn't, it's non-zero.
It's not zero.
It's non-zero, but yeah, I feel like teams are going to really start to pack in around Quarry in about 5 minutes.
That's what I would do. Honestly, I'd probably make that timing a little bit shorter, especially if you're a team like Aurora, loot up military super fast, get moving across that bridge and secure those locations really early on, because with so much zone in the water, this is essentially like a circle 3 at this point. There's not very many great spots available. You're going to have to get moving here pretty quickly. And you can also get moving inside the game and get yourself that Ninetales Fury Awe, guys. Go ahead and get in there quick. The Uzumaki Naruto event, by far one of the best collabs PUBG Mobile has ever done. Still around. Don't miss out.
It's looking fresh. You saw, if you missed the show match earlier, make sure that once this stream is done, go back and check it out.
Yeah.
It was mighty fun, and of course we had to let Alpha 7 win something, even though they didn't make it to the finals. Sucks for them. They were able to take that title there. The Hokages over on their own.
The Hokages.
In their own right. The little intro video as well. Revel looked super cool with that shadow clone.
Dude, that was the sickest
I really like
intro I've ever seen.
That was hot. That was hot.
Put that on the highlight reel.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Get it done. Enigma Galaxy going to be chasing down the truck, getting those supplies. Although, look like they're going to be doing so with very minimal weaponry there. Haven't been able to quite disable it before it leaves the city. Where's the weaponry? Come on. Shooting it as it leaves. They're dropping 1 or 2 more crates out. Finally, it's on fire. So a little bit slow to get this one dealt with. But finally, they find some weaponry they can use to cover the back of the doors there. They draw it too close. So they'll be able to leverage that. Zones still looking very dramatic on the southwest side. Nobody quite on the road, but 4 Thrives went to Primorsk very, very early, Dukes, which means that they will have the pick of the litter when it comes to taking a position into this next zone. The question for me is where do you go at this point when you know that everybody's going to be flooding out this way? For me, I feel like Potentially some of the compounds to the east mouth of Quarry could be quite good. Okay. Transitions away from there can be difficult as well. And the reason I'm going for that is because I feel like I would want something that's at least on the south side, just in case it goes to territory.
Yeah, I would take the hill above Ferry Pier. I think that's the strongest spot.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're right, that zone could, for some reason, it's been crazy today, right? It could yoink all the way back to Millie, and you have at least a decent spot to be able to get there pretty quickly. And then plus, if the zone does go in almost any other direction, you have that sight line of that field that's right above you. So you can get a lot of work done from that position. I wonder which team is going to decide to take it early. Fourth Thrives heading into Primorsk so quickly, though, I think is an excellent decision, because if for some reason that zone does go to Millie, with Primorsk secured, they should be able to at least find some boats and make a crazy rotation on in. So it's not a bad idea.
Enigma Galaxy getting out nice and quickly. Nongshim Red Force as well, moving in a little bit further south of this, and they will start to line the hills just north of Ferry Pier. It's like they are the first two teams to really make that break for it outside of their looting phase. And I'm expecting a response from Fourth Thrives fairly soon, but so far hasn't really come on through. Ralph able to get a lot more scouting done than maybe he would have expected to. But they managed to sequester themselves nice and deep in towards this zone. Which is, I think, going to play very well for them, taking the position just northwest of Ferry Pier.
For sure. I mean, this is still a very, very close game. I mean, second place on down, one good game, we could definitely see a team even like all the way down 12th place jump up really quickly. E-Arena have started to create a little bit of a point differential, though, in between first and second. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's a little one. It's a pretty big one here. It's 18 points between first and second. So E-Arena are going to continue to want to press that on there. At a certain point, though, John, especially if we see E-Arena like pop off in this game, I think the lobby is going to have to start taking notice of it, right? If you want to be able to slow them down from setting that point threshold so high, I think if you realize it's E-Arena by getting at least one elimination on them, you may want to put a little extra urgency on trying to take them out.
Maybe, but then again, if you do that, you could be sacrificing your own point scoring potential.
True.
And like if E-Arena are that far ahead already to be into the situation where it might be an idea to do that, I feel like you're already running into the situation where you're just trying to get up as many ladder points as you can, right? You're trying to just step up, get from 6th to 4th, something like that, go for those jumps. I feel like that's the sort of stuff you're looking to do. Maybe if you're at the bottom of the tables, you could, but even then, laddering up is still very, very valuable. So I feel like, unless it's like first place is on 150, second place is on 120, third place is on like 90, even lower, that maybe then the second place team could try and hot drop and go for something like that if you have that sort of advantage with not too many more games left to play. But outside of that very specific scenario, I feel like targeting E-Arena, I mean, given the form that they're on, probably just generally a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think I think hot dropping in general of them is just terrible, no matter what the situation is. I just think that if you just somehow can see them, like for example, in the feed, you hear the shots.
Sure.
Maybe you do a little bit extra to try and take them out as Godlike starting to make some noise. There's S-Power with the run over. No fear getting taken out, but Sleepy. Oh! We thought he was going to get the thirst, but Godlike was right there to support his teammate. And a huge save there, right on time.
E-Arena are looking to come in for the third party from the west side here. They've already got a scout close by, and they've seen the elite Elam feed lighting up as well. Manya looking to suppress with an ace. Good bounce. Finds Sky on the flush. Will E-Arena be here on time? And Tiamba are going to join in from the north side as well. They could have an impact as they roll on up towards this engagement. A lot of players down, and there go Horror. Taken out, knocked for 6. Godlike able to send them to the bleachers.
Oh, but here comes Tiamba, looking to make things difficult for the side of Godlike. Admino is stuck with QZZ right there. Godlike get that fight done pretty quickly, but they're going to have to make a sacrifice. Oh, the tire busted out from Anya and taken out as well. So, man, Godlike just not able to catch a break here.
Tiamba able to rock in with a good third party there. Vitality a little bit late to get involved. E-Arena wanted to maybe think about it, but they were too spread out on the western side, and so couldn't get involved, but Tiamba were there nice and promptly. The circle, in the meantime, shifted back over towards the bridge. Very Pier is a hotbed right now. 4 Thrives, maybe bearing the brunt.
That's just saw Coops in the elimination feed there.
That's unhealthy. That's not a good engine.
Here we go. Yeah, that does sound like that head gasket's in trouble here as Huzaifa is pushing up on closer to Furia. Oh, hops in the vehicle, hops back in. And now able to at least get a secure position. Ayala holding it down against 4 Thrives. It's a party at the beach. Very Pier is jam-packed.
Get your sunglasses out. Get your tanning oil on. It's going to get toasty very, very quickly as teams crunch on in. Maybe a little bit of calm, though, before this storm.
Oh, I don't know. It's feeling pretty disturbed right now because everybody wants those central positions. But you're right. It does look like the teams are able to secure most of them for now. Nongshim trying to get an opening knock here onto OG. They got to be careful here. They're getting mighty close. Oh, and Hyunbin gets that opening knock. Nongshim, are they going to press this? Looks like they are. Hyunbin up close and personal. It's Nongshim Red Force versus OG, and OG are getting picked apart here. Aru's got to find a way to buy himself some time for his team.
Okay, well, I mean, a good answer over towards Nongshim. That knock over there is going well. In the meantime, Ulf lost a player. I believe that went over to 4 Thrives over in Ferry Pier as well. Zaru gets back in, looking for those reses.
He's gonna get him.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Power.
Godlike.
Oh, S-Power with the double.
Godlike?
Godlike from the other side saying, we need some of these eliminations.
Just a cop left for Orangutan. Needs to get Aru back, and S-Power says, you know what? My work here is done. Peace out.
See ya.
Sends back. There are only 2 players. Staying there for too long would diminish the power of the position that Salme was holding, allow Tiamba in for the north. They needed to reinforce that, so the fact that they're able to extract points and let loose some of the pressure from that south side as well is excellent stuff, so he knows he needs to be prompt on that. The circle goes back over to the mainland. So we are confirming over there. Tiamba trying to leapfrog that godlike position. Looks like it's going well for now. Ida as well, trying to send in from this northeast side.
Got S2G over there by the Blues. They're going to have to come down that hill and find a way in. The thing is, that's all open field there. You got Vitality holding the north side of the circle. You got one of the players from S2G. That's Kamikaze. He's going to be trying to get some angles here to see if he can find at least a next position for his team. But Ferry Pier, like we mentioned, completely stacked. Take a look at the replay here. Huzaifa. Ooh, nice shot there. And pick on the Solus.
Yeah, I mean, there's a complete broadside there. No way hiding from that one. In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force trying to hold down the bunker. Emre pokes his nose in. And will not like what he smells. A little bit too much cordite there in the nostrils, and Emre does get flushed away. Nongshim Red Force hold their position on the east side of that ridge line that sits wooded and covered. They're playing on those bunkers as well. A really nice defensible position. Look at the teams out on the east side as well. You've got Ida, Flash, Aurora, Furia, all of them sort of holding each other at bay right now. So Nongshim Red Force feeling very safe and secure for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, next 3 minutes is going to work out for them, but then things are going to really start heating up here. On the north side, you got S2G now starting to press very, very close to Team Vitality. Yep, Razek just saw him, and they're going to be on the move here, possibly trying to avoid this fight, get in a more solidified position in this circle. Kamikaze just keeping an eye on the side of Vitality for now. This is still super early here, folks. This is only stage 3, but we've just seen so much action through the chaos of that first circle placement.
Yeah, it was really hard to navigate towards it. A lot of damage inflicted, and yeah, with Aura going down as well. We're down to 15 teams, a lot of raggedy squads on the cards as well, which makes things nasty for plenty of our players. Godlike and Orangutan, though, are both in central positions as their duos, which is kind of their saving grace in terms of survivability. They'll try and keep things going. E-Arena on the west side, holding around that quarry. They've left Schweppes actually onto the Primorsk Hill on the northeast side of it to be that off angle for them. But they're kind of keeping out of it for now. They're kind of chilling on the west side. So for E-Arena, we're still waiting to see what they've got for the rest of this game because they're path forwards may lead them to clash with Vitality or with Godlike.
You can see Schweppes, though, from E-Arena. He's all the way down in Ferry Pier, just getting some sight lines, getting some intel for the rest of his squad. Got to be careful not to get too close, though, to the side of Enigma Galaxy. Now you see Aurora Gaming. Let's see where this next zone's going to go, though. That's when the fight's really going to get started here. Zeol is going to eat a little bit of blue damage. Just keeping an eye on Flash. Yeah, he's trying to play this quietly, hoping that he comes in this direction, but instead goes in the opposite. Next circle does pop on over, and it is heavily to the east side.
I mean, this is good for Nongshim Red Force, right? On their position. We were talking about that before. The fights on the east side will need to conclude. Tiamba sending in a might challenge on Orangutan's position, but it's clearly open on those hills. It's going to be very difficult to hold. Fortunately, there's not too many full squads around them. Nongshim spot a player from Flash as they try to move in. Aurora taking a chunk out to Tiamba. Now looking to overwhelm, but they've lost a player on the roll-up. Orangutan try to hold it down, but will not be able to face the might of Tiamba, who are fielding Shallow now on their roster, leaving Milu out, and he is not needing to get it back up.
Down to a duo. Eagle trying to get that first aid off. He's going to be able to get that for sure. On over to Ferry Pier. Enigma Galaxy are set up. They're going to have to push into this next zone as well. Circle is closing. This is stage 4. The blue zone really starts to put in its damage here. Let's see what Enigma Galaxy decides to do. It looks like they're going to be most likely prioritizing the shoreline. That's why they're applying so much pressure to the side of Al-Ula. Quick ends up catching. Yeah, that's 4th Rise with Zaifa out. And yeah, it looks like Al-Ula are going to be holding this Ferry Pier position. We've seen them do this before. S2G were able to beat them in that spot using those hovercrafts in a game not too long ago. So let's see if Al-Ula can turn things around.
Try and hold that west side. I mean, for 4th Rise, a little bit of a lost opportunity there. Remember how early they were in Primorsk, Dukes, and they didn't manage to transition fast enough. Both Enigma Galaxy and Nongshim Red Force both got ahead of them in terms of getting to the positions in that area. It's a little bit unfortunate. I'm not super happy about it. Now they find themselves in the middle of a fight that may not go their way with 3 full 4 squads. Sorry, both only have 3 players. So with 3 squads surrounding them. Luckily, they are in the zone, so they aren't super under the impetus to move, but they may want to.
Yeah, now we're looking over at E-Arena, the top squad right now. So many points on the board. Nice point gap. Looking to make that and push it even further beyond. Team Vitality looking to make some noise on the north side. Everybody just trying to find their spot in this next circle because this next zone's most likely going to push north. And if it does, that is wide open field, which S2G have a decent position in. Tianba and Nongshim Red Force are pretty locked down. But these teams on the south side of Ferry Pier, honestly, should already trying to figure out what is the path they're going to take into this next circle. And the only way they're most likely going to get there is through some insane shots.
I'm looking at the shaking and moving right now for E-Arena because now is the time that they need to transition into a pivotal point in this game. For the time being, for the longest time in this game, they've just been on this west side, waiting, playing that edge, assessing the situation. But now they need to start to move forwards, and that is not how you want to start it. Salmate immediately goes for the flush, and he's gonna go unpunished for the moment. I don't think they've got an answer here. A nade up and into the top floor of the window for 30K doesn't connect. Zest Power hiding somewhere else in the building there. Will not find that fight. So for E-Arena to lose a player here, I mean, that's great news for the teams chasing them.
Yep, huge news. And Godlike now knows exactly who they're fighting and the importance of them taking this out. Next zone does go on over. Huge zone here for Tianba and Nongshim Red Force. That Ferry Pier heel is just so strong.
I kind of like this for Ulf as well. I mean, it may be a struggle to fend off all the teams in Ferry Pier, but once they're there, they have a fairly isolated area. Survive quite deep into this match, but the transition over to the hills can be very, very difficult, especially with the 2 teams lining you up side to side. Vitality gonna have to make a break for it now as they have to roll out from the north edge.
And they're gonna have to cross a lot of open field here. This is what I was talking about. This zone is not very kind to those teams that were playing on the edge position. Yeah, Team Vitality are just kind of waiting to hopefully have these teams in the middle start fighting so they can, you know, get a free rotation onto this next circle without too many eyes looking at them. But it's going to be a tough rotation. Yeah, Razy's going to be driving right back. Say, guys, it's pretty jam-packed down there.
No bueno. It is no bueno out in that open area. Enigma Galaxy finding the back tail of Al-Ula and able to drag that one back. Claws does fall. As the Arena is still trying to dislodge Godlike. S-Power with the shotgun tries to find one, steps into a nade, but not before getting a knock. Now it's all up to Salme. Has got a nade cooking. Still with the pin pull, drops it down, nearly finds it as Schweppes tries to move up to support Tourniquet and get that res. S-Power falls, and Salme has Mormon now to handle. Gets the first lick in with that shotgun, and Mormon has to back up.
S-Power had that. It was such a fortunate nade there. Samway has the right-hand priority. That's what he needs. Catches it on the Mormon and gets the knock, but great teamwork there from Schweppes to get the nice 1v2.
Enigma Galaxy could potentially roll out and try and third-party that, but in the meantime, Vitality crashing up on towards Tianba's position, playing beneath Nongshim Red Force out to the east as Vitality have taken a knock out to their western point. They are still 4 players alive, but E-Arena are rolling out now. They can turn their attention that way. Steps onto a landmine, blasts his leg sideways, and down goes another Vitality player. They are getting torn apart as E-Arena descend as well, sending a 4th position. I don't think they're going to last much longer. Ida trying to join the party, and Tiamba are now suffering. Darkin and Swain both on in the fight, taking huge swipes at this hold. And Tiamba may not have enough to hold everything off, but they will find the final blow towards Ida.
It's an open field battle here as teams are starting to crowd on in. And this is looking like an absolute battlefield. Tons of nades going down, and down goes Vitality. S2G joining the battle. 2 eliminations to their name so far. And with that fight, all that commotion happening, it allowed them to be able to get a more solidified position in this circle. Great timing from the side of S2G. E-Arena are like, hey, I don't care about the timing. We're just gonna push up and hit some crazy shots and put everybody on notice.
2 teams crashing onto Tiamba's position was enough of a smokescreen for E-Arena to be able to move up nicely. Despite not having one of their players with them, they are now on 5 eliminations. They've pushed past the 90-point barrier now, Jukes.
Wow.
It is a great result so far. 10 teams remain, but they're on the outside of the circle, and Enigma Galaxy are going to cause problems. They've seen what's happened, and they think, no. This can't stand. No, order. And they find, well, actually, it's S2G who find a shot onto Schweppes on the back line.
Stop that, said Enigma Galaxy, and honestly, the whole lobby needs to start really worrying about E-Arena here because the White Rabbits are starting to run away with this thing. Remember, $500,000 for first place, $250,000 for second. That's a big difference here, folks. Now we're gonna see Enigma Galaxy. They got that knock. E-Arena are outside of the circle. Tianba will be keeping them. This is kind of a perfect situation for the lobby. Nongshim Red Force, though, gets super blessed in the zone. They are dead center. It is really their game to take advantage of here.
And they're really hoping that E-Arena go down fairly soon because then they can put a massive dent in the gap between these 2 squads. E-Arena, though, currently focused on Tianba and Enigma Galaxy. Enigma Galaxy find another knock, sending it over towards Schweppes. I don't think this is going to be resible. Mormon and Tourniquet now having to keep it together. On top of the 5 elims they found already. And Lost might have an angle on it as well, suppressing that angle, but Mormon goes down, can't hold face against Enigma Galaxy, and no knocks are sent their way either. Mormon gets flushed away, as Schweppes does get back up. Meanwhile, over in Ferry Pier, Aurora, Alula, and Ulf all come into the fight. It is getting chaotic down there, it's getting messy as well. Tourniquet the last stand for E-Arena, and then Enigma Galaxy have to push into Tianba, and nobody's happy in Ferry Pier either. It has been non-stop action for the last 7 minutes.
Fight after fight after fight. These zones making things so difficult. And yes, Enigma Galaxy are now on the push. They want to be able to finish E-Arena out completely. They don't want them getting any more points. And I believe, yes, with that nade, that's gonna do it. E-Arena finally taken out. But they still put points on the boards here, John. So it's like no matter what the situation, they are constantly moving that needle further and further and further.
Absolutely, but for Nongshim Red Force, this is a beautiful position. They were able to do a lot of damage to Furia, leaving them on 1 player alive. Flash are going to crunch in behind it. Potential to pick up points there. Aurora are going to have to leave into the sidelines of Nongshim Red Force. There is a big Elim potential gain here if they can close it down, because they are in the driver's seat here and they need to keep control.
All these teams need it. They all need this chicken dinner and all the eliminations. And that's Furia gone. Nongshim Red Force. Man, XCY with 5 eliminations all by himself. Gonna have to make a play here. He's got the shotgun, but the suppressive fire from too many angles, making things difficult. Nongshim Red Force are still here though, but here's Bose from Team Flash. This nade could be big. Can he thread the needle through the window?
No.
Oh, so close.
Not quite on the first. Has another opportunity. S2G as well.
Second
Launches
chance.
another one. Don't think that one.
Got
No way. I didn't think that one went through. It did. And down goes this Nongshim push. They flexed out from their position, Dukes. It felt like maybe it was the right time to do it, but they underestimated the chaos on the eastern side, and they slip the strongest spot in the circle, and they will leave it all up to So Easy. A real big opportunity for them to put a massive jump up on the tables. They can still do very well from this location, but they have really had the juice squeezed out of them.
You're so right. I mean, they put some good, solid points on the board, but it could have been a whole lot more, that's for sure. Let's see who can take advantage of these missteps. Enigma Galaxy are still here. 4 eliminations. Aurora with 5. Big win here could put them all the way up to second place very, very easily. Tiana right there close as well. Team Flash, yeah, with that last player, Bose, just trying to soak up anything for his team at this point. Next circle does go, and up, and it is going to be down to that southwestern side. Enigma Galaxy barely have a position here, but this is all open field. It's time to... side. Enigma Galaxy barely have a position here, but this is all open field. It's time to hit the deck and hit some shots. Satan getting hammered from both sides. He goes down. Here's Wade to take a shot over towards jump as well. S2G take their turn at Tiapa, but it's not going to go well for anyone really. Enigma Galaxy trying to step up. S2G trying to move in, but nobody can find an opening. Thanks to the suppression from Aurora. Solke goes down, and Tiamba are holding their nerve, but only one player now left standing. QZZ against Kamikaze over the bonnet. Tries to find the shots. 3 rounds now left in the back chamber for the S12K. Gets the reload, but it's not enough. Kamikaze keeps S2G in there, and Solke may get back to his feet. They don't have a lot of time, though, because the zone is moving in. This area is looking like a dang blender. Shots happening all around in every single direction. You gotta find a way out, though, as Doc now on the push, looking to shut things down, getting up close and personal, but it's Coops. Coops on fire, literally now, as those nades and Molotovs too strong.
Oh, no.
Coops by himself could not hang on.
And now Aurora ramp up the heat, turning up the thermostat on the lobby. But in the meantime, S2G, they may just get themselves back up to 4 players alive here, Jukes, which is kind of crazy, given the chaos that just unfolded at their feet. Remember, Tiamba were there. They were taken down just about with the assist coming in. And Nongshim Red Force still alive, by the way, with their solo player up and into 3rd place guaranteed. It's a little bit less efficacious than they might like to be, given the position that they held, but they'll take it.
Huge game, huge game. Honestly, if So Easy can play this quietly, he can disrupt this pretty big time. But you can see S2G, they get the full reset, and we get to see them bust out the welding gun as well. So they're going to have their vehicle all set up. As far as when it comes to zone control, though, it's all Aurora. They have this entire zone locked down. But the thing was, they had this advantage before against a team of Nongshim Red Force, and they lost that game. This is their chance to make up for it and secure this chicken dinner.
S2G on the ferry, but lost, gets spotted. That is Nongshim Red Force's solo, striking out wide. The point gets taken away from him, but diminishes the power of S2G. Maybe gives him a little route in, but already Aurora have flexed 2 players out. I think they're going to be able to deal with this. Ooh, unless a nade lands on Top's head. Launches it forwards as he spotted it. Ooh, nearly, but not quite. Not quite. Has to march in, making the mad dash, and Top actually not quite connecting. Has another nade to pull. Top to trade it off, and Aurora can really sequester themselves into the angle. Doesn't spot the nade, goes boom right next to his ear, but doesn't quite burst the drum.
That was a prediction nade, though. He knew that he was going to run up, so he threw it ahead of him and got some really good damage onto So Easy. But he is able to get away for now. Here he goes, though. Here comes some more util from the side of Aurora.
They've lost it.
They're spending a lot of time focusing on this one player of Nongshim Red Force who is refusing to go down.
Drops a nade right in front of them. Top steps up, nearly goes down again. They're having real trouble here, and S2G not really having an impact so far. The zone's starting to close all the way, and So Easy just about holding on. But dear life, as Ruthless steps into the fight, the DBS there in hand, not quite enough, and down they go. Now S2G up on the chopping block, looking to try and do something, but that nade is big, and the next one is bigger. Takes a huge chunk out of S2G, and Solke trying to stay alive desperately, but he crawls onto the nade, and it blasts his belly open. Aurora swing out from Ferry Pier and find a chicken dinner.
And it's about time. Aurora clutching it up. They wanted that chicken dinner earlier, weren't able to get it. But in this one, they get that secure. So Aurora showing some serious consistency when it comes to Erangel here in day number 2. We still got one more left to go, and they are looking strong.
Absolutely. Great stuff. It's exactly what you want to see. It's been said of Aurora before, right, that they're a team that needs to ramp up in pace. They do need a little bit of time to get into gear, and maybe that's what we're seeing here, right? Maybe they are going to be able to find that ramp up over the next, the rest of the matches today and in the games tomorrow.
Yeah. Today, even when they went out now, they still put up 5 points on the board. So they're the biggest threat in this lobby here. Because remember, folks, at the end of these next 3 matches, that smash point threshold is going to be set tomorrow. Once those 10 points are crossed, the next chicken dinner, that is it. We will crown some champions. So Arena's job today is to just set that threshold as high as possible, and they're doing a good job of it.
They are, but even in that match, a lot of the teams towards the top of those tables were able to put up some decent games. Right? You had all through late SG, then leading to that one on Red Force. They got a little bit deeper, they've gone for that push up, but still getting into 3rd place into that match was really great for them. A lot of teams putting up some big numbers, and sure, they put up 5, and I do praise teams for being able to do that sort of thing, but everybody's hounding them. As for Arena, it might be okay, but you can't have a tortoise in their hair situation. You need to keep the pace up. You cannot let sleeping dogs die, because they will find you and they will take you out of that top spot. It's all to play for. One more angle today. Before we move on to our final set of Miramars, don't go anywhere.